tequila.
oh, hell yeah. Tequila is one of well, okay, I gotta shut up.
Wait, hold up.
Oh, what?
What? Look off?
No, that's just a sign.
No, it's
It looks
this way.
fucked.
There we go. Yeah, wait, how's that look? How's that look? Again?
Looks pretty nice.
All right, we're going to start the episode in 3, 2, 1. Yo, and hello and welcome to GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go for free feed subscribers every Wednesday in audio format on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast platforms, as well as in video format on YouTube so you can see us in stunning HD. Where we need you to hit subscribe and click that notification bell. We are streaming live every Monday at 7:50 p.m. CST on twitch.tv/GameSpeakPodcast, Facebook.com/group/GameSpeakPodcast, and YouTube if you want to catch the show as it happens before anyone else. Be sure to go ahead and join our ever-growing community in the GameSpeak Podcast Discord at dsc.gg/GameSpeakPodcast to hang and talk games, battle and catch Pokemon, get show updates, find friends to play games with, and so much more. This show is 3 BFFs bringing you the hottest video game news of the week. I'm one of your hosts, Jamel Al-Jafra, alongside Brent Bass and Devin Mayer.
What's up, guys?
It's like an owl
Oh,
or
not
something.
much, man.
Yeah, what's been going on? We're very tempted to just jump straight. I can already feel the tension.
Yeah, I
but
literally haven't done
But
shit else.
what have you guys been up to besides, playing a specific game?
Literally nothing.
Yeah.
All my free time has gone to that.
Yeah, I've been
Work, and then that.
I've been doing nothing.
Oh yeah, Brent's not
I've
working
been
right now.
chilling, yeah. I have been chilling. I've been enjoying my life.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's been very, very nice.
You can see it in your face. Like you
Yeah.
look a lot more or a lot less stressed out.
Yeah, I feel a lot less stressed out, you know? Like,
yeah.
I just feel, I don't know,
Free.
at one.
Walking
yeah,
on
free.
sunshine.
No, it's been really nice. Yeah, I've done
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. I've been getting to spend a lot more time with my girlfriend.
Dude,
Everything.
downtime is great.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Okay.
That's good to hear.
But yeah, other than what we all are just freaking chomping at the bit to talk about. No,
Oh,
I just worked. That's it.
Huntsville has been on fucking fire.
Dude,
this week.
yes. I have been hearing about that from a lot of my Madisonville peeps. Yeah, it's bad, but they finally
scary.
got it under control, though, right?
Yeah. The other day I woke up and my whole house was just like full of smoke, and I was like,
Oh, what?
I was like, oh fuck. And so like I went outside. My neighborhood is just like completely smogged out, you know. So
And
like,
this is the fires on 247.
yeah,
right?
I guess so. Yeah. And so I hopped in my car and I like, drove down 30 a little bit, and it was just smoky everywhere. In
Brent
town.
thought
It
he was in
crazy.
Maui. Like,
I did. I've been watching too many videos.
looking up to the sky for the space lasers.
I was getting ready to shovel my cat and computer in a car and just burn the fuck off. You know.
The
what
cat
I
in the computer. You put the cat in the computer. And
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Priorities. But yeah, hopefully everybody is good. With all the fires and whatnot. Hopefully no one's houses have been affected. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
my sister lives out there, and she sent me like a picture the other day from like across the highway from like she's just sitting on her like the porch basically of her house where she's living, and it's like right across the highway. There's just flames everywhere, but
Yeah.
the wind was blowing it the opposite direction though,
God.
so I was like, they're good.
That's
It's
terrible.
like, you ain't taking the third one.
Right.
Like, damn.
yeah, that's sketchy. That's
It
super
is.
sketchy.
All of it's sketch. Huntsville's sketch. Why would you do this, Huntsville? Catch on fire.
And this
No.
isn't the first time in our lifetimes either.
No.
Y'all remember back, what was
Huntsville
it,
caught on fire?
2011?
Yeah.
Well, not
I don't
Huntsville, but
remember
like
that at
north
all.
of Huntsville. In between Madisonville and Huntsville, a lot of the property there caught on fire back
I
in
feel like I should
2011.
remember this, but I don't remember this.
I mean, we had just graduated.
Yeah,
high
we were
school.
probably in
I was probably in Brenham. or something,
yeah, at that time. But anyways, I know neither of you did, but did either of you catch the One Piece live action on Netflix?
I meant to watch
I
it.
queued it up to
but
watch
I
it.
just could not
I've never.
make-
Okay, so I've never watched One Piece,
Me neither.
but that's a lot of that is because the original season. I want to start at the beginning,
It is very old.
and it's very old.
But I will tell you this. I don't really care for the anime, but like I've seen all the way up to Skypiea, which is like a little bit past where the live action takes place. Like, and I watched it probably like, I don't know, last year because I was trying to find something to fill that Hunter x Hunter void.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't really feel it. But then they were like, we're doing the live action. And I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. And it's literally everything I've watched so far. So I watched it. It's awesome. This is probably the best live. Like, it makes me like the show. Like, I would much rather watch this as a live action than watch it as the anime.
Interesting.
Like, a lot of people are going to be very angry.
Would it be cool to watch it if I've never watched the anime at all? Would it be better to watch it if I've never watched the anime at all?
I don't know. It's
Probably
literally
more of
ju-
Does it
appreciation
hit
for
different if you've watched the anime?
I think just because you can relate it to, like, you're like, wow, they did so good at, like, replicating this weird fantasy pirate world. Like, to where it, like, you're like I remember everything because I'm watching it and I'm like, wow, that's literally, like, it just looks great. The casting,
I think
everything.
they had the creator of the
Yeah,
anime
I was gonna,
involved
and
in
I
it,
was gonna
yeah.
say that goes to show that having the creator that closely involved can really make a good difference because people
Yeah.
were, people were very 50-50. Like, okay, this is, I mean, as far as I know, this is one of the first times that a creator of the manga has actually gotten, or the anime has actually been there with.
That's why
the,
Avatar is gonna fucking suck, dude. Because
the creators
dropped
left.
off of
yeah,
it, dude.
man,
For creative
it definitely does
differences,
not give
like-
me a good feeling about it.
Yeah, no.
How are you gonna have creative differences with the
The
creator?
creator.
I have my hunches, but I'm
Remember
gonna
when
stick
M.
by it.
Night Shyamalan did the Avatar The
Oh,
Last
man.
Airbender movie?
Yeah.
Or how'd they say his name?
Whatever they do, it's
Ong.
gotta be better than the M. Night Shyamalan.
That was literally the worst movie I think that has ever been made. Not just the worst adaptation of a movie or like of an anime, but just the worst
Well, now,
movie.
I'm
hold
not
on.
gonna lie. I've never even watched it. I'm sitting here talking shit about it, but I've never actually watched the M. Night Shyamalan Avatar movie. And like-
We watched it in theaters. Like, I was working at the movie theaters when it came out, so like they let us all watch it as like a like
like a treat.
yeah, they were, well, because we could do that. Like, we could all like stay after work and watch a movie. Like, we would like set it up where it's like everybody that worked there would like that wants to stay would stay and watch
My
it.
sister brought me to some of those,
Yeah.
some of the midnight premiere ones y'all did. Like,
It was ass. It was like everybody like halfway through, everybody's just like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, I
It's so
remember it
bad.
being very bad too.
Yeah. He made like
But
all of them.
talking about it being one of the worst adaptations, let's not forget about the live action Dragon Ball Z. All right. Did
yeah,
y'all
that
see-
was really bad.
Oh.
I think the Avatar and Evolution are very close, like in bad level. I like how they were just
legendary.
like, "What if we put Goku?" No, like we made him white and he's going to fucking high school. Like,
My thing about the Dragon Ball thing is like there's so much source material
Yeah.
to pull from. It's like, why would you do that? You know, like you could do so much without changing the actual. Like you can omit shit and make like abridge the story a little bit. Like we don't have to see Goku getting his fucking driver's license or anything. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But like I don't know, man.
The other thing about like
They
the
really fucked that up.
One Piece live action. So the One Piece live action, I'd give it like a 9 out of 10. It was really fucking
I'll definitely
good.
have to watch it then. Give it a shot.
It's really hype. The one thing that it does make me sad about though is like I feel like it like gave me hope where I was like, oh man, what if they did like a live action Hunter x Hunter? But and I was like, it wouldn't work because everybody in this show is like 20 plus like in age. There's no way you could interpret like two 12-year-old kids just beating the fuck out of grown men and stuff. Like it just wouldn't look right. You know what I'm saying? It would look cheesy no matter what. Like
Yeah.
it's like even if they had powers, it would still just look fucking dumb.
I don't know. If you found like a really hard ass fucking 13-year-old to play Killua, you know?
Yeah, like I feel like if they
man.
did like a 90s like a live action, it would have been Macaulay Culkin would have been Killua for some reason. Like 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 they like if they like did the 90s like cheesy version of everything. I don't know who they would have
Now
got.
I'm
for-
just imagining like the Home Alone fucking scenes, except he's just like holding their hearts in a fucking
in
bag.
a bag. He just ripped it out. He's like, "Yeah, that's mine.
Like,
Give it
a
back."
can of paint swings down and hits him in the head.
Knocks half his face off. Yeah, but anyways, great show. worth a watch. Even if you haven't watched the anime, I think it's worth a watch. You might enjoy it way more if you have seen those seasons, though. But let's get into the real. And we're talking what we've been currently playing. I know you guys probably haven't played anything else but this, but up until the day. Oh, have you played other stuff?
Well, I played a little bit of other stuff.
Okay, yeah, let's do that, and then we'll all talk about the big one.
Yeah.
So what else did you play?
So, okay, not too much, but I played Crossfire Sierra Squad or whatever that came out on PSVR 2.
Okay, I saw that.
It's a VR.
How was that?
It's not that great. It's honestly, you know what it reminded me of? You know when we played that Far Cry VR game?
Yes.
It reminds me of that.
Oh,
but like
that's not a good memory for me.
No, it's not. And like I don't know, man.
Dude, I saw something, I can't remember what it was, but it was like either a streamer or something giving it high marks, and I was
Far Cry thing?
No, the game.
Yeah, that's why I bought it, cuz it was getting like rave reviews from everybody. And like don't get me wrong, okay, it's a little better than the Far Cry thing, you know? Like, the graphics are really sharp because it's PSVR 2 and, like, crystal clear and fucking, you know, the haptics are cool. But, like, all in all, it's kind of like a wave shooter, you know? And, like, on the levels where it's not a wave shooter, it's like you shoot some people and then you, like, walk to, like, another room and then another wave shooter scenario.
So it's like a
happens.
WiiWare game.
Yeah,
it's just trash.
It's kind of like Time Crisis or something. You know what I mean? But without the fucking like.
Oh, so you can't even move around. You're like
no,
at a
you
fixed
can move
point.
around. There's no on the rails. It's like imagine everything about an on the rail shooter, but like fucking.
But you can walk.
But without the rails, like you know what I mean? There's like a small corridor you can walk down, you know, instead of a fucking.
So it's like classic like first person shooters, like on the PS1 and like the PS2 era, like where it was like everything was super linear and like
like a hallway.
The guy would like peek out.
It's like a classic first person shooter mixed with like a classic beat 'em up game. Like you walk to like a segmented level of the game and then you have to clear out enemies until you can like walk to the next segment. You know what I mean? Like
go.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird, man, but it's it's arcadey fun. Like if you're just like drunk wanting to shoot at some stuff, like you know, there's fun to be had. But
if you're drunk, play VR.
It's a drunk game. It's a fun drunk. It's a thoughtless shooter game.
Yeah.
It would be a fun arcade game probably. You know. But yeah, I played a little bit of that, and then when I was waiting for STARFIELD to come out, I started up another Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough, which, by the way, finished Baldur's Gate 3, the first playthrough. It was fantastic. Super, super good game. Like, probably the best game I've ever played. Fucking, it's so good. And so, like, I immediately started another playthrough, and this time I was like, I'm going to be evil, you know? That was my goal. So I'm like, I'm going to make the most evil-looking character I can, like, you know, make, you know? So I make this orc with, like, red eyes and, like, his skin's all fucking, like, dark and he's just, like, you know, evil-looking, you know what I mean? He's got big-ass teeth and shit. And fucking, I was, like, looking and I was like, oh, man, there's a fucking origin character where you can, like, customize the fucking look of the character and stuff. And it's just called the Dark Urge. And it's like, you have a murderous urge brewing within you and it can't be tamed and blah blah blah. And so I was like, fuck it, I'll start a Dark Urge game or whatever. So like you start the game off and you instantly get like all these dialogue choices that are just like super fucking weird and fucked up. Like there's one part where you're like laying there going to bed and it's like, you can't sleep, your mind races with thoughts of murder and viscera and like it's like your options are like block out the thoughts, embrace the thoughts, blah blah blah. So I picked
act upon the thoughts.
I picked embrace the thoughts, and it's like you become aroused thinking about the slit necks. It was like really fucking graphic.
Just become Hisoka.
It was super fucked. And then like fucking there's one part at the beginning of the game where you meet like a main character in the game, right? Like you come across this like portal and there's like an arm sticking out of the portal, and like in the normal game you like
pull him out.
You pull him out, you roll a strength check, and like it's like you meet this magician named Gale who's like becomes part of your party or whatever.
Not with the Dark Urge,
so,
I'm
like,
assuming.
I pulled up on the portal and like the hand comes out and it was like one of the options is like fantasize about cutting off the hand or whatever, and I was like, fuck it, I'll fantasize about cutting off the hand. And it was like, you start to fantasize about, and like your character just gets this crazy smile, and like it like zooms in on his face, and then it's like suddenly you realize you actually did everything you were just fantasizing, and there's just like this big bloody fucking spot, and like you have like his arm in your inventory and shit. And,
what
like,
the fuck?
He's just dead. Like you don't encounter him anymore. Like one of the main characters from my first playthrough is just like completely dead because
Holy
of my
shit.
fucking goofy actions. Like.
Goofy.
You
murderous.
you silly goose.
He cut his arm off.
That's kind of how my fucking other like companions reacted. They were just like, oh, okay.
The fact that you're even able to have companions in
Right?
you like that.
Nah, it's great.
Well, I trust him.
Super good game. But yeah, I stopped playing that playthrough so I can, focus my attention on the Field of the Stars.
Oh man.
Which I think we can talk about.
So I
Well,
played
hold on.
Armor Core.
You played? Oh shit!
Yeah, I played
was
Armor
it?
Core a little
Have
bit.
you beat it yet?
No. So I got to chapter 4, chapter 3, chapter 4. And I was doing
Probably
a
a
good bit.
good game to play like in balance with fucking Starfield because you can get your intense like shit
Yeah,
going.
right.
And
There
then-
is no in between for me.
I about to say no.
Yeah.
I'm not going back to Armor Core for
I
a minute.
feel that.
Oh man. But no, I mean I talked about it last week. It's really fucking good. I mean the boss battles are dope. They're very challenging. The different builds are cool. There's lots of different options to do. But yeah, I was just playing it up until Starfield.
Sam, I was playing not Armored Core, but I finished Jedi Outcast. Like I beat that, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna play Jedi Academy," because I thought I was gonna wait till the 5th for Starfield, and I got pretty far into Jedi Academy, and then I was like, "Wait a minute, I can get Starfield for $31.99 and play it today," and Jedi Academy was uninstalled, and so now I joined the Starfield. No more Star Wars.
Field of the
Yeah.
Stars.
So let's get into it. But before we break down the game, let's just give our first I don't want to give a review, but
I was gonna say, we can't really break down the game because I feel like we're all at the very. I mean, I don't want to say we're out at the very beginning, but we're not like.
I'm like 40 something hours in at this point.
What level are you?
23.
25.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I feel like we're still pretty early.
We're still pretty early, but so far early review of not review, but if you had to give
First
it a
impressions.
first impression types.
Yeah, first impressions.
Before we break down stuff, and also we're gonna be spoiler free. Let's not because this is brand
I don't know.
new.
I mean, I want to talk about some of this stuff with you guys that I've been putting off talking
That's
about.
true.
You know what I mean?
That's the stuff. All right, so
Well, but if people
Mild
want to
spoilers.
come and listen, for the review and to see if the game's worth getting though,
Look,
because we are playing it early access.
How
too.
about this? We'll only give you as many spoilers as somebody who's only played less than half the game can give you. You know what I mean? I think that's fair to say about all of us. You know what I mean? We're not far enough to really spoil the end or anything. You know?
no, definitely.
If there's an end of a quest that's really cool or important, I say we don't talk about that. A big,
or
quest line that has a cool
rewards
payoff or
from-
something.
yeah.
Maybe we just
or we won't
omit
say
things
how
like
you
that.
get to that quest,
Yeah.
or we could say,
Or if an important character dies or something, we don't say their name.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But we can talk about
though
stuff.
I think that those characters are different depending on what's happening.
Yeah.
So honestly, I don't think there's really too many spoilers, except for we can't talk about the game changer. Don't say what the game changer is halfway through the story
No.
or whatever. Just say there is a game changer, or pre-game change, post-game change,
Yeah.
if we're talking about stuff. So
so first impression scores. I mean,
oh dude,
It's a 10.
it's a
for
10.
sure.
10,
Yeah.
absolute 10.
There's obviously bugs, but I expected that with Bethesda.
I'm not exaggerating or being facetious whatsoever. This is literally exactly the game I thought it was going to be. There's
Same.
no in
Yep.
between. It's not any more or less than what I expected. I expected a fucking masterpiece from Bethesda, and I got a masterpiece. From
Yeah, I
Bethesda.
mean, it-
it is what I thought it would be.
40 hours into it, and just scratching the surface on so many of the other systems.
Yeah,
That's the other thing. Okay, on about 40 hours in, you're getting pretty deep in and you're pretty close. Like, you can start seeing the ends of things. I don't even know where the fuck, like this game, I haven't even seen, like, even 10% of the planets. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, dude, I will say this. Can I tell you a cool thing that I found? Well, shit, it's kind of spoilery. Okay.
Hold on. Is it just like a random quest?
No, look, check it out. Okay, I found a way to phrase it without spoilering anything.
Spoiling.
So I found like this fucking... I found something on Earth. I found a landmark where London used to be.
I haven't even been to Earth.
I went to Earth. That was one of the first things I did.
And I found a snow globe, a London snow globe or whatever.
That's dope.
At fucking the Earth in London. But then right next to that, I found a very
familiar
spaceship that, you know what I mean?
It's the Millennium Falcon.
It's cooler than, it's very futuristic, if you know what I'm saying, you know?
DeLorean.
And fucking... I walked up to it. It was just parked there. It was like a fucking, what are they? I can't remember what they're called, but you know, the dudes, the futuristic spaceship dudes, you know.
What? I will leave it at that because I don't know what you're talking about, and I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
I want to figure this out.
I want to go explore.
Oh, you guys really don't know about that yet?
No, dude, I literally haven't been to Earth.
Shit.
Like, I've just been following. Like,
that wasn't even like a fucking like main thing. I was just dicking around, fucking.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, never mind. Forget I said anything. So wait, what thing are you talking about? That's like. We gotta talk about this off.
What?
Are you talking about the game changer?
Can we just cut the fucking the fucking NDA? Can we just talk about this freely for a second?
Okay, if we're gonna talk about this, if you're listening to the podcast, just know we're about to spoil shit. So if
Let me get an energy drink real quick.
Yeah, here I'll give you the rundown. We're gonna spoil shit. If you don't want to have Starfield spoiled, you already got our review so far. You've got our or you know what?
We didn't even get into it.
Yeah, we're gonna get into like the mechanics and stuff, and then we'll let you know whenever we're about to get into the spoil zone.
Yeah, let's hold that off for now. That way we can actually talk about the game itself without.
Brent, we are gonna spoil it, but let's just talk about the mechanics. Spoiler free for people who haven't played it yet. Like just go over that, and then we'll be like, okay, now we're about to go into spoiler zone. Just turn off the podcast or skip like 20 minutes.
Okay.
But all right, so
things you like, things you don't like.
Okay, well let's go through. What's y'all's favorite feature in the game? Jamel, if you had to pick one, what's the feature that has stood out?
The faction storylines, like the side quest stuff, like there's literally so much you can do. Like you can become like a fucking sheriff of the galaxy, but like, and these faction quests aren't just like, oh, here's 3 little quests and you win, you're done with them. These things last like, it took me like 10 hours to do, like a certain faction's quest line, and then like I got like a penthouse and fucking I became like a level 1 class citizen on the planet, and like I get all these extra perks and all this stuff, and like I'm just like up on this high rise penthouse like looking over the whole city and all this stuff at the end of it. And every time I'm walking by like NPCs, they're like, "Oh, good day to you, sir." They're like, "Oh, thank you for all of your hard work," like all this stuff. It's cool. Like that right there is really cool to me. And then you don't just have to do one faction. Like you can go and do a whole nother one on a whole different planet and then like get all the perks from that one. And because I'm already like done with that one, like I get random dialogue options because of it. Like it'll be like, present your
in the war.
Yeah. Or it'll be like, like, oh, I'm a Marine or whatever. Like it'll give me like those options to say things like that. And like people are just like, oh, well, I really I'm glad that you're here. Like I fought in the blah, 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 and like all this stuff. And like, so that's probably my favorite part is like the faction side quests and stuff. And that's just not even scratching the surface of things I love about it. But that's probably one of my favorite things.
What about you, Brent?
Yeah, I don't think I could pick a favorite thing because there's just so many fucking amazing things about the game itself. But I do like, this is going to sound stupid, but I really like when you like hop into a new fucking system or whatever and like fucking some random ship pulls up to you and then like calls you and like you never know what's going to happen, you know what I mean? I had one pull up to me the other day and it was like grandma.
I got that one too.
Did you go on her ship?
Yeah,
and
yeah, and
eat-
she just
eat
like
soup
gave you
with her or
food.
whatever? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I kind of cut her like dialogue short or something. Unfortunately,
Dude, I had like a fucking deep ass fucking like
combo about her kids and stuff,
yeah,
where
just
she's
about
from.
it, yeah.
Yeah, and then she was like, "Take whatever you need," and I'm just like fucking just pickpocketing her shit.
Fly
Like
off in her shit.
I tried, I really did try, but it's like you can't fly this ship. I was like just taking shit off her shelves and like walking out like,
Damn.
like hey, she offered. It wasn't stealing.
No, it
Yeah.
wasn't.
She was like,
Took all her credits. I will.
I did
say
take
that.
her credits. Yeah, I mean, she's just float. I mean, she's on retirement, dude. She gets like monthly shit, you know.
Monthly credits.
But yeah, we got to talk more about those, like in the spoiler
Yeah.
area, because
I've got a good one.
I've
for
got
this
some
one.
funny ones.
Fucking man, dude, my favorite like feature that has stood out the most is the shipbuilding. The shipbuilding is over the top,
It really
amazing.
is.
It's
like
pretty cool. I just bought my
so much
first
freedom,
ship.
dude.
Fucking like I bought a whole ass ship for like $100K, and I'm pretty happy with it. But I realize now I don't have workbenches in it, so I'm gonna have to add a workbench thing
Yeah.
onto it. And it didn't have a third gun, so I had to add a gun to it. And
That's a little bit. That part's fun. Like
No, it is
customizing.
fun.
It's
It
like
is fun.
Legos almost. And like it's pretty easy to. It's like it's so complex yet so easy to put together. Like but there's so many different pieces. Like you could literally break a ship down to nothing and then like
yeah,
just
you can build it.
rebuild
Yeah, you can build it however the fuck you want it. Like it's
Yeah.
you just have to have the main components of your reactor, the engines, the landing gear, and then the bigger
bay.
it gets, the more landing gear you have to have support it.
Yeah.
Or the bigger grav drive to have enough thrust to get it into hyperspace.
It's pretty complex, dude.
it's-
You need cargo to like hold all your resources and shit. Like
Different
Yeah,
like
cargo's
levels of
important.
piloting to like do the class A, B, or C, and then like C's being like the biggest like commercial
you
flight.
want to be a
like,
space trucker.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
dude.
it's fucking. Oh, I love it. It's so in depth, and then you have different brands that have all the different like looks and same functionality, just a different like skin to it to give your look. Give your ship that like customization to it.
Yeah. Now that we've talked about our favorite parts, what is something that you feel like could use an improvement? Like just to be so we don't feel biased here. Like what's something that you feel could be improved, like with a patch or like an update in the future?
the maps are terrible.
Absolutely.
The fucking frame rate in Aquila City is awful. The frame rate in fucking New
Neon?
Atlantis is really bad. Neon City is excellent for me.
Really?
Neon City is one of like the few places that's
Neo-
like solid 60 frames per second for me.
Neon
all
City
the
plays
time.
perfect for me, but all the
Yeah.
other cities are fucked.
What-
Like there's the only places that I have problem with are the main area in fucking Aquila City and the place in New Atlantis that's like right by the fucking lodge. Like that area gives me trouble. For
The-
some
Yeah, because
reason.
it's probably just because of so many plants. And
Yeah,
stuff.
That's the residential area, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it
Mast
is.
area gives me a little trouble too. But
So-
like you go down into the well, fucking crispy,
Yeah.
perfect. Like you know what I mean?
I
So-
hate the
and
well,
that's-
dude.
That was going to be my biggest thing, like area that they can improve is performance, and I think it's due. And we've already seen some mods. Actually, no, there's no mods dealing with this yet, but I think it's just too much rendering. Like they need to put like a draw distance on it because I think it's rendering super far out. Because I was
Yeah.
looking, I forget where I was in, like that first main city, New Atlantis. I was somewhere up pretty high, but could see like way, way far off, and it was still rendering every character walking around in the city.
Wow.
And so like they're
Yeah,
they
need
need
an
to
option for that. They
they
need
need to figure a way to cut back on some of that. That's like unless you were looking that specifically far off, like you're never going to see that stuff. And so it's taking a performance hit for
They do-
almost nothing.
There is a setting to make the crowds less dense. Like you can
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
have less people walking around, but I don't want to do it.
No.
So I'm like, I still want all the people, even though they're not that important. But one thing, yeah, besides like performance and whatnot, make sure if you're playing on PC that you have an SSD. Like I'm gonna buy
yes.
one just for this because the loading times are awful if you don't have an SSD. But they both have, Brent and Devin have SSDs, and they said their loading times are like nothing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, this is a big if you're on PC, this is a very big thing.
You go
like,
in
if
and out
you-
of buildings a lot in this
So
game.
much.
And you're constantly having to load stuff.
And
Yeah.
docking and like
And
fucking fast traveling.
every single interior is completely fitted out with just random little knickknacks and stuff that all this stuff has to be
Fully 3D
loaded
rendered.
in. Yeah, rendered and loaded in. And so, yeah, if you're going off of like a regular hard drive or anything that's not a solid state or better, it's going to be, you're spending a
Think
lot
back
more
to
time.
Skyrim when it first dropped. That's like how my load times are. Like, every time I walk into a place, it's just like giving me tips and shit. I'm like, oh my fucking goodness. I should have downloaded this on Xbox. But
if you do have it on SSD, it's not an issue at all. I mean,
Yeah.
what are your load frames like? Like what, a couple seconds?
Not bad. Like
Yeah.
10 seconds max. If
Yeah,
it's
even
like
when
a big
jumping to a whole
environment.
nother system.
Yeah.
like,
yeah. But yeah, so but
The
it's very
UI.
minimal things like whenever it comes to the UI.
the UI
I've
could
gotten
use some
used to
cleaning.
it.
I have too, but it could use.
But
some
it could be
cleaning up.
better.
Yeah, and I don't like man, the way the menu, like, okay, sometimes the fucking tutorial messages just get stuck on my screen and just don't go away.
Oh, the ones that pop up.
I never had that happen to me.
It is incredibly annoying.
I think your
fucking-
game it's like you can get a bad save. Like I think where like you have a bug and then you save and like just keep playing on that bugged
Right
save.
into the code.
Yeah, it's like fucked. So like because I don't have that
Well,
problem
I haven't
either.
gotten very many. I think I'm far enough in the game where it's not giving me tutorial messages anymore, thankfully. But like, there was a moment where I had to like reload the game every time it gave me a fucking tutorial message because it would just stay there, like, and it would just be so distracting and annoying. Like,
Yeah.
you'd be trying to like enjoy like the cutscene or something, and it's just fucking right there in the
It's
middle.
like go to
of
your
the-
map. Yeah, and it has the typical Bethesda stuff where like there's like a story thing going on and like I'll hop in my ship and like it'll start up the like the dialogue between me and some other ship across the way,
Yeah.
but you hear Sam Code just being like, yeah, and that's whenever I was like walking outside and then blah blah blah, but like talking over the main
Yeah,
story. I'm like,
loudly.
shut the fuck up, Sam. And like like it'll be like Barrett and whatever her name is having a conversation behind me. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Samco's fucking daughter like stands there in my workshop
In the way all the
No,
time.
she's not in the way, but she's like in the workshop. So like while I'm doing any kind of like
Work.
on like guns or suits or anything, she just stands there and is like, "Did you bring me any books?
yeah.
Did you bring me any books?
I haven't even
Did you bring me
talked
any
to
books?"
her.
Just
Like-
over and over again, like.
Dude, like I literally have not even had a single dialogue like with
Well,
her.
don't, because she'll
Like-
keep asking you for fucking books.
And she's
she
not getting
won't.
any because I got the only book I picked up.
Bro, I picked
What-
up a shitload of books because I'm like, I'm going to give these to fucking what's her name. And then she doesn't give a shit. You can't give her the fucking books.
Oh, you can't?
No, at least not. There might be some kind of specific book that she wants, but I got like a dickload of books because I was like, I'm going to give these all. Maybe I'll get some kind of reward or something.
Nah, because I'm setting up my like my penthouse, like I'm putting in the shelves and stuff, and I figured out like how to like it's like Skyrim, you like drop your shit and then you can like decorate your house with the random items you find around the place. So like I found Dracula and I got that book. I'm like picking up like random books that have like nice like covers and stuff and look cool, and like you can do like wall shelves and stuff, and I'm like putting everything on there. I've got like a fish bowl with a fish in it and all this stuff. Like,
Dude,
that
she just stands in my way everywhere. She's always in a doorway, and it's always the doorway that I need to go.
of course, it's just like
Fucking, that's why I banished everybody from my ship. I got tired of it. I was trying to like run it because I've got my ship fitted out for like my like different
Just
shit
need
that I
to
gotta
get
do.
a big ass ship, bro.
Yeah, no, I got it now. Well, and I just got a new ship today, but I'm not gonna say where I got it from. But it has even more storage and then some other cool features of it as well.
yeah. The turns out you can actually go like one thing we do have to talk about is the fact that when you leave a planet, you cannot travel between planets just free flying. Like you can't just fly from a planet. There's like a certain dome around each planet that you can kind of fly
We
around
kind of
in.
already knew this, though. Everybody keeps bringing this up like it's
Yeah.
new news, but Todd Howard told us this long
time ago.
before the game ever dropped.
Though you can actually fly to the other planet. Somebody did it.
Just takes
It
for
takes 7
fucking
hours,
ever.
but when they got there, the planet was a JPEG. Like you couldn't actually interact with the planet, so then they just had to fast travel to it.
That's
So-
fucking
and
hilarious.
then-
But
the
you
other
can,
thing-
if you wanted to. You could technically fly all the way there. Like it just takes 7 hours of real time. So
And then there's the other thing with like IGN's been bringing up a bunch about the borders on like the different tiles that you visit in the planets. Like
you would
yeah,
never even want to go
no,
like
'cause
out.
There's no vehicles to traverse these planets and
Yeah.
stuff, and so like you literally have to hoof it on foot. And there's still things that show up like 1,200 meters away
Yeah.
in the area that you're in. So to get to the the borders of these little areas,
It would take. They said it takes 45 minutes of walking to get to these borders. First off, you're not staying on any one planet long enough to give a fuck to do that. Like you're grabbing your resources, you're doing your missions or like building an outpost. Like you're not there to do that. Like every planet is like a small Fallout, or like a small like Oblivion. Like it's basically like if you just took those games and shrunk them a little bit and then made 1,000 of them. But like with
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean, like it's like a randomly generated fucking empty planet with like 4 or 5 landmarks on it. Like it's not like a mini Oblivion. You
No.
know what I mean?
I'm talking about like the
that's-
main places, like New Atlantis
Oh
and things
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
those for sure.
No,
Yeah.
not the random like barren planets, but even the barren planets have shit on them. Like you can find
I
like
almost
old
feel
outposts.
Like it's
and
more
stuff.
like a mini cyberpunk or something. Like the
Yeah.
layout of the planets is like a big city with like a bunch of empty shit around it, and that's pretty much like the big planets. You know what I mean? But there's lots of them. It's not just like the 4 main planets. There's like a bunch of like little places that the game doesn't fucking really tell you about unless you find like a mission or something that sends you there. Like I found like a rehab clinic for like criminals and shit. I found like a fucking space casino. I found all kinds
there's
of weird
so many
shit,
cool
you know what
things
I mean?
out there
Like,
that you just have to stumble across, or
Yeah.
like like, I'm sure they might pop up in quest lines or like side quests
Yeah.
that like you just haven't found yet. One great thing about it is like it's got the old school like Bethesda thing where you don't have to talk to people to get side quests. You can hear them talking and it just like becomes a quest in your like
Yeah.
you can choose to do it. Like you can hear a lady just be like, I haven't seen Sarah in a long time, and then it'll pop up and be like, find Sarah. Like so
Yeah.
you're not wasting time like talking to random NPCs that you don't have to.
well, and a lot of those will send you to like cool places. Like they'll be like, "Hey, did you hear? There's a cool place where you can do hallucinogens on fucking neon," and then it'll
Yeah.
just be like, "Go to the Afterlife Club" or whatever.
Yeah, or you can even do like
it sounds like an actual mission. I'm gonna go do that.
yeah.
right. I
Or-
don't think it's called the Afterlife Club. It's
Astral Lounge.
Astral Lounge. Yeah.
That's one of the places. Yeah.
I
And
did
the-
a lot of missions for the DJ at the Astral Lounge.
Did you really?
See, I haven't even done any
I
of
have
that.
a theory that the DJ. Okay, so hear me out. Okay, the drug that everybody's getting fucked up on at the Astral Lounge is called Aurora.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's like a hallucinogen called Aurora, right?
They don't even know what it is, right?
No, they do. Fucking Barrett explained it to me. He
Oh,
said
okay.
He said Aurora is made from oils from a fish, a type of bass that's on the planet or something. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
like a fish oil.
Oh yeah, because the
hallucinogen.
planet the neon's on is like it's a completely
Lots of water.
completely
planet,
covered
yeah.
in water. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, so fucking, I went to the fucking thing. Oh god, where was I going with that?
Where the
You said-
hallucinogens come from, or
No, the
oh,
DJ.
oh yeah,
The
my
DJ,
theory
yeah.
about the DJ. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So the drug that everybody takes is called Aurora. The DJ is fucking named DJ Borealis or whatever. Okay.
so,
But the DJ is a chick who sounds suspiciously like the real recording artist named Aurora, which I think it's too big of a coincidence that like there's all this like the drug named Aurora, her name is Borealis, you know what I'm
I
saying?
didn't even know there is a.
She sounds just like the fucking singer Aurora. Like when she talks, she's like, "Oh, I'm Swedish and blah 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 blah." You know what I mean? Like I'm 100% convinced that it's like some sort of like unnamed
Little
cameo.
East-
I tried to look it up online, but I couldn't find anything about it. You know what I mean?
you have to go to the game credits
Yeah.
and look
Mhm.
and see.
You gotta
like,
beat
that's
the
a
game.
lot of fucking credits.
Yeah.
That's one thing, dude. There's so much voice acting for like people all over the fucking galaxy.
Yeah,
Like,
it's crazy.
Oh yeah, I haven't run into two like like I haven't ran into any type of like replaying the same voice actor for characters. Like
I was convinced that Sam Coe was the same voice as Knights of the Old Republic, Karth or whatever.
Oh, gosh.
He sounds just like him, but I looked it up and they're different people.
yeah, that's I'm glad it's not him, but but yeah,
Dude, one thing they did really well is like how alive the cities look. Like each major city, just like all the different people. Even like if two people are standing around just talking, like a couple times I've seen them like wearing the same work uniform or something.
Yeah.
And they'll be gossiping about work or something, or just random shit all happening at once throughout these cities to make them just feel so much more alive.
I do feel like everything is kind of unnecessarily spread out in some of the cities. Like New Atlantis feels really like spaced out for some
Too
reason.
much, yeah.
Like it's way too like spread out. It's got a bad case of Night City vibe to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas like Aquila City feels more like a traditional fucking like,
town in Fallout or
Fallout
something.
town or something. You
That-
know what I mean?
That's one thing I do have to say. Like, if they update anything or like patch anything, they need to make localized maps. Like, why the
Yeah.
fuck can you not just pull up a map
I
and
get
see?
it for the planets that are like uncharted or whatever.
Yeah, but for the
like,
big cities?
yeah, what the fuck?
Like, how come I can't dude, I got my penthouse and it took me an hour to find it after I had
That's
gone
what I'm
because
saying. I can't ever find the shops or anything
Yeah.
that I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Like, and the scanner tool is cool because it's got the little line on the floor that can take you if you get like if you're trying to find a specific quest or something. But that's the only thing.
yeah, it'll only
Yeah.
show you the
You can't
quest.
do like
Yeah.
a waypoint or something,
So, like,
and
a
then you couldn't
specific
because there's
store.
not a map you could fucking do a waypoint on. You
no,
know what I mean?
there's literally
It's
nothing.
the first Bethesda game where you don't have like a real map, and like I rely so heavily on the maps from
Yeah.
Skyrim and fucking
Fallout.
Fallout. Like it's
It's
weird.
basically-
it's just a weird thing to not have in any game like this.
It's basically like they went back to fucking Morrowind, like where there's just no map, like nothing,
Yeah.
like you just have
well, there
to
is
hope
like
you find
it's
shit.
weird because there's a map, but it's like it's just blurry nothingness.
There's
Like,
literally nothing on the map except for specific points.
It's so
Like,
strange that they even chose to put a map when there's nothing on it. It's just like I don't know. It's so
it's like
weird.
you literally have to memorize like different cities, like it's a real life place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
mhm.
But at
It
least
does
in
make
real life you get
appreciate
GPS.
the environment a little more, though. I feel like because
Yeah.
you actually have to like figure your way around. You know what I mean?
Look at signs
Yep.
and
Yeah.
shit, and like double backtrack if you went too far.
yeah.
But yeah, all right. So we've kind of given our thoughts, broken down some of the mechanics in the game. There's lots of crafting. There's lots of like I still haven't even like 40 hours in. Like we didn't talk about skills. There's lots of skills that you can build up that like eventually lead to really cool things. Like if you're gonna play the game, definitely play the main quest at least up until the point where the game changes a little bit, because you're basically missing a huge chunk of the game if you go off. You can go off and start doing side quests and stuff, but I really think that like if you can just go straight into the main quest until the game changes, like, and then go off and do shit.
Yeah,
That way at least you have that.
I agree.
It's a huge chunk that literally just doesn't exist if you don't do that. You could probably play every side quest in the game and never figure that part out.
What kind of skills are you guys working on right now? I'm trying to get my fucking fitness tree up because I think if I get it to the final tier, there'll be some sort of health regeneration thing.
No, it's not in the fitness. It's at the bottom right.
No.
Rejuvenation. It's a skill.
It's on the not fitness, but on.
Oh yeah,
the
it's
far
it's
left.
it's on the far left.
Yeah, that's
tree.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
On
yeah,
the
yeah.
bottom-
At the bottom, yeah, it's called rejuvenation. It's
Yeah,
on the last mastery level.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm
Oh,
trying.
It's
I
like
thought
you-
it was like the running.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about literally, yeah, like the oxygen, or like something.
I thought it was fitness, which increases the oxygen.
Well, I'm just
but
trying
the health,
to get
the health tree.
the tree with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
shit.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because
You
at the
know?
bottom right, you have to spend a lot of fucking points. But yeah, you finally get rejuvenation at the very like end of that tree.
Yeah. But that tells you like how much content is in this game that they expect you to be like just getting that like
Well, there's not a fucking level cap or anything. You can just
keep going forever.
indefinitely leveling
No.
up. Yeah.
What's the highest galaxy level that I've seen is 55 so far.
Yeah,
Like,
but
oh
I
my.
also haven't traveled very far from our fucking.
Me either.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like I've been in the same little area Like,
Yeah, I've been
since I
going
started.
all over. There's even a couple times where I just literally, I was like, all right, I want to get to this far, like red system. That's just like, I'd have to jump to like 6 different systems
And
to
you
get
did
to.
it?
Yeah, and I did it. Yeah, I just traveled from system to system, got some cool little random events and
That's
whatnot.
cool.
And then just went out to them. And yeah, and if you'll look, whenever you're looking at a system up in like the top right of the panel, it'll show the level of that system.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I
Yeah.
didn't notice that.
Yeah, the highest I've seen is 55. So I'm sure things will start to level out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been kind of avoiding the ones that are like over level 40, but like I don't know.
Yeah, same. I don't. I don't try to go fuck around in them because then you get fucked up. Maybe I wonder if the animals and shit are a lot higher level too.
I don't
Shit,
know.
On the on the skill thing though, back to that, like I've already mastered
yeah.
persuasion. I've mastered
Oh, persuasion is important.
very important.
You
Like
can do a lot of shit with persuasion.
Yeah.
The persuasion minigame is great. The
It's
lock
fun, yeah.
picking minigame is great.
I've only got one. I haven't been doing too many lock picking things. I have so many digipicks or
I
whatever.
run out of them so fast. It's one of my biggest issues is like I'm constantly finding a lock that I can't pick because I don't have enough digi.
Go to the mercantile place or whatever on New Atlantis. Like right when you land, go down the ramp and then go to the left, and there's a store, and she sells digipicks like every other day. Like you can get like 3 or 4 from her.
I'm gonna stock up.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing is going to her, and some of the trade authority places will sell them, but like
I've just been finding
Trade
a bunch
Authority
of 'em.
is where you can sell your contraband. By the
Mhm.
way, if you've
Uh-huh.
ever got some fucking shit.
But good luck getting into into like a settled
Well,
system.
there's like a Trade Authority vendor in almost every settled system.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get the contraband, just make sure you sell it before you leave the system. You know
Well,
what I
yeah,
mean?
if you're
already on the planet. That's
Yeah,
the
if
thing
you're
is like
already on
all
the
the
planet.
contraband's like in space or like on like pirate ships and shit.
Well, the only contraband I've found is on a random outpost in some random system.
I found some
I
on.
found some random fucking contraband. Like I did this mission where I like broke into this executive fucking office in New Atlantis and we like ramsacked fucking the corporate office or whatever, and I found a bunch of like contraband like xenomorph fucking like shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I found harvested organs, sentient AI adapters.
Oh,
like,
that's dope.
fucking yeah, they got some cool names. But the problem that I had is I had to travel to a system to sell it. So the only system that doesn't have like UC or the Freestar controlling it is this wolf system, and you go to the Den, which is a star station.
Where did you find that stuff? Just out in
It was in
in space?
it
Like
was in a random outpost called the Vulture's Lair. And so it was I literally was just randomly traveling around, and then I see Vulture's Lair, and I was like, okay, this looks interesting. And sure enough, it was it was a pretty in-depth, like, kind of dungeon type thing, but it was built into like the side of a cliff, and you just go through this whole area, get a lot of shit.
I wonder if you could just like burn off. You know, like what if you flew to the new system? They come up and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna check you for contraband," and then you just engage warp drive and fucking blast the fuck off.
Well, then you can't land though, and the whole
Yeah,
point is to
you
like
gotta
go
land.
and
what
land
if
on
you
the plane.
landed? Could you just land?
You can't land when you're in
land.
combat.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Because
Yes.
I've landed in combat before,
No, you
You
can't.
can't, especially if it's the
but I did it. Like
not with the UC though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
If
it,
the UC or the Freestar, like if
Yeah.
it's a scan and then they're like, hey, you've got contraband.
yeah,
because-
you won't be able to land.
Because I've never tried to run away from it when they do that.
No, yeah.
What if you just kill them?
Then
Well, there's
you'll get a
lot.
bounty when you channel.
You'll get a bounty, but there's a lot of them. Like, I don't know if you've noticed, like when you go to New Atlantis,
Yeah.
there's all those ships flying. Those are all UC ships.
Yeah, I haven't
Or
tried
like
to fight them.
Aquila, those are all Freestar ships. Because I tried to I saved it and then tested out a couple different methods to see if I could maybe slip by. And they're like, hold on, you got contraband. And I was like, you'll never catch me alive. And so I started fighting. And then like 6 other ships were on my ass. And
Damn.
like I couldn't do nothing.
Yeah, the only time I got a bounty, unfortunately, was on from the UC, and like I have like one of those bounty things in my penthouse where I can go and like just pay like a certain amount of money and it just clears my name. But because it was in a UC place, it wouldn't work. It was like no. that you can't clear a bounty on the planet that you have a bounty on, like without going to authorities and clearing. And I was like, fuck. So like, yeah, I ended
I
up.
feel like it's usually just worth it to get arrested. Like
Yeah, but they take all your shit. They take all
not
your
always.
stolen shit.
I bribed them one time to fucking let me keep my contraband.
What'd you do? Just walk to the desk and be like, hey.
They just gave me an option. It was like pay the fine, or it was like pay the fine with a bribe, and then in parentheses it said keep the contraband, and it was like an extra like 2,000 credits or something. So
Well, I didn't have any contraband. They just took all my stolen stuff. So like I had just done a quest, and like, you know, everything I stole from this guy, because the quest was like the collector guy. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah,
I don't want to spoil it, but the collector guy, you know, I fucked him up, and so he was like, "Oh, all right, fine." He's like, "Don't kill me, you know, take whatever you want and just go." And so like I'm just walking through his ship, just taking everything, and like, I'm taking
I
his.
kind of felt bad about that guy, so I didn't fucking steal. Like I just took the artifact and burned off, like, cause.
Oh no, I took everything, dude.
He seemed like a chill dude. Like he wasn't.
Like, oh, you are in love with the artifact too.
He wasn't like a fucking bad guy, you know? And I was like, Sam Coe's really going to hate it if I just put one in this fucking dude's
Sam Coe liked it.
What?
Yeah, he liked it when I did it.
Man.
Because I tried not to. I was like, look,
fucking asshole.
but I didn't say I didn't do the thing where it's like
Sarah Morgan would have fucking hated that shit.
No, but did you do the grab for the thing, or like?
I just snatched that shit.
See, I didn't do that. I was like, well, report me for piracy, but I need that artifact
And
or
then
whatever.
it's like, grab
And
it.
Sam Coe liked that I said it like that rather than grabbed it. And so then he was like, fine. He's like, do what you want. And so like I
Sam
walked
Coe
through.
liked that you just grab it too. But I think if you just attack him, Sam Coe probably would.
Yeah, he'd probably be like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had to wait for him to attack me. And then, like, all these, like, you know, people started rushing in, and I just shot that guy, and he went down. And then, like, he was like, all right.
I can't even tell you what I did without going into spoiler mode.
Speaking of which, we've talked enough about our stuff. We're about to go into spoiler mode. If you don't want to have anything spoiled for you, just skip ahead like 20 minutes. If we're still talking about STARFIELD, then you know you've gone to. Then just skip some more. But anyways, all right, spoiler starting now.
Okay, so what I did in that situation was I stole the fucking artifact, right?
Yeah.
And then I put my fucking shield power on and just fucking ran through the fucking ship, and everybody's shooting me, like deflecting bullets back at their own face and shit. Fucking like,
Wait, so you didn't? So you did it completely different.
I didn't hurt anybody. I literally just took the thing and fucking shielded up and fucking booked it.
Yeah,
and like everybody was shooting me and stuff, and like all their bullets are like bouncing off and stuff, and I just like I hopped on my ship, I undocked and like shot a bunch of ships that were coming at me, and then fucking flew off like.
I
just grabbed it, and then he came at me with a gun, and so I was like, all right. I was like, you want this? Bah! Fucking shot him down, and then he like started crawling. He's like, okay.
Yeah, that's
what
happened with me.
He's like, I see you have the same love for this that I do, and he's like, fucking.
You have the option to kill him or just like be like, all right, cool, thanks.
Yeah, he's like, I really didn't want this to go to violence.
Well, I probably shouldn't. I probably should have killed him.
Yeah, because now he's gonna come after you.
Well, he already came after me. How far past that are you?
I'm pretty far past. I'm like doing power.
Have you got arrested?
It was like, he was like, fine, take whatever you need. He's like, I was like, I didn't want it to come to violence or whatever, like he did, and he's like, I understand, you know. He's like, take whatever you need and go. And like, I'm just walking around, and all the people that like work on this thing are like
shit talking.
Yeah, they're like, get the fuck out of here. They're like, oh, what? So you just get to walk around and take all of our shit? Yeah. They're like,
bro, I had to run past that whole ship full of people just like shooting at me, trying to kill me.
That's
and shit.
so
like,
funny that you just ran. Like, you should have, like, if you would have just shot him twice, everybody's just like, all right, cool. He doesn't die.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, fuck. He's like, all right, don't kill me. But
I really didn't want to like accidentally kill him, you know? Like,
so I kind of fucked up on all this, right? So I downed him. The whole crew stood down, and I went through and kind of fucking snaked my way, picked up some shit, stole some credits or whatever. I get back on my ship, but then I see that there's a fucking optional objective to go in the safe behind his safe.
Oh yeah, I did get the safe.
So I didn't see that. So I went back on the ship.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I didn't see that either. So I went back.
Wait, no, I didn't get that safe. I got a different safe. I'm thinking of a whole different.
Yeah, because I took everything else.
No,
I
so
was
there's
so
an
busy
option.
getting out of there.
It gives you an optional thing, like there's a hidden wall, there's a false wall in the safe that he takes you to.
What's in there?
I don't know yet, because I got off the ship, right, back on my ship, and then I saw that optional marker, and I was like, well, fuck, I'm not done here. I go back on the ship, right?
They start shooting.
Everybody's hostile as fuck.
Oh shit.
So I'm blasting my way through, guns blasting, right? And then I was like, oh shit, it's time to go to podcast. And I had to say,
Damn.
so I'm
that's
halfway through killing that entire ship.
Oh, you should probably just kill him then once you find him.
I'm going to leave him
Yeah.
alive.
Since Brent said you'll get arrested if you keep him
It's
alive.
actually kind of cool.
Well, that's
like,
good, though. No, I want to get
it-
arrested.
It leads to a whole nother fucking
Crimson
thing.
Fleet.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
A whole nother side quest starts by you getting arrested and talking to
I
someone.
wanted to
Yeah.
steal his shit so I could put it in my house, but there's certain things you can't take, like like all the stuff in the glass, like the old computer. Like I wanted to take it so I could put it in like my my penthouse and all that, but you can't open all the glass or anything.
Yeah.
But
what powers do you guys have?
I have like 8 or 9 now.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of them too. I'm not sure. I've
Yeah,
got.
I've got
the only one I really use is the gravity thing, where like everybody just starts floating, and they just stop shooting, and I just walk up and shoot them in the head. Like
I don't use the gravity one at all. I use the one where you can see people through walls. Fucking
Star Sense.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
I
yesterday.
take like 0 damage, dude. I'm like so strong for some reason. Like I literally like people will be shooting at me and I'll just stand there. I'll just be like fucking looting stuff off of people while I'm getting shot, like taking no damage. Like literally it's like so minuscule. I don't know why, but like, and then I'll just walk over and like my gun, I use a pacifier that's like fully decked out. And I'll just walk up and slug someone in the face, and that's it. Like they just drop. Like even if they're like level 30, like I'll shoot them twice.
The only enemy I've had trouble with is the hunter guy. I don't know if you've had to
Well,
fight
yeah,
him.
dude, I told you guys about the hunter. I saw him before the quest actually
Really?
began. Yeah, he was just walking around New Atlantis. And he was like, "Hey," and I was like,
What, really?
It was weird because he like everybody else was like walking like normal NPCs. He was like using his booster pack and he like dropped down and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I ran over to him because he looked cool. And I like talked to him and I was like, "Hey, I like your outfit" or whatever. It was like some option like that, and he was like. He's like, "Thanks." He's like, "What do you do?" And then, like, we just had this conversation. He's like, "Wow, this is the first time I've had a deep conversation with anybody around here." And I was like, "Yeah." And then he was like, "Well, we'll meet again."
And then
I was
Jamel
like,
flirted with him.
"No, you didn't get that option." But he was like, "Oh," he's like, "Also," he's like, "We'll meet again for sure." Like it was
That's
like,
ominous.
yeah, it was
Oh, shit.
ominous. It turns out he's part of the Starborn or whatever.
Speaking of
so.
which, that ship that I said I found in London on Earth, it was a fucking Starborn ship. Fucking.
Oh, interesting.
you gotta like roll, like you go up to it and like you go up to like the fucking porthole, I assume, and
Yeah.
it's like it says the ship is inaccessible, but there's
Okay.
like a fucking porthole and shit. So I'm assuming at some point you're gonna be able to fucking.
That'd be tight. If you get the Starborn
So-
ship later.
Well, all I know is that if you guys find fucking London, it might be worth going over there and fucking checking that shit
That's
out.
a random event.
Oh, it is.
Yep. So I found one on a different planet.
Really?
It was off in the distance, like fucking far as shit. But yeah, I walked over to it, and there's a crew of Starborn that were walking off it. But I was like, I'm gonna fucking. I hid
Try
behind
and
some
steal the
rocks.
ship.
Yeah, I went around the crew that was like, I don't know if they were going to look for me or what. But I went around the crew and then got up on their ship and then saw that it was inaccessible. And I was like, well, this is a waste
Dude,
of fucking
There's
time.
got to be a way to get in that shit. and
Eventually,
fly
I'm
it.
sure.
Eventually, dude, I bet it's a skill level thing, but it's also so
Skill
fucking
level,
cool.
yeah.
But one cool thing, like I like went to a random planet and like I got held or whatever. And it was like a broadcast incoming or whatever, and it was like, "Hey, I've been trying to reach you about your ship's extended
Oh,
warranty."
Yeah, I got that one too. I got-
Did you give him the money?
No.
Good, because no matter what you do, he'll drive away. Like so, like if you try to shoot him, you can't. Like he'll get away. So like if you give him the money, the $50K or whatever, he'll just like if you start shooting at him, he'll just fly away. It's just a scam to take your 50,000. So like
fucking hilarious.
so somebody was like, I bet you if I give him the 50K, something cool will actually happen. And he's like,
Yeah.
did you talk to him and like hear all the different package options and
No,
stuff?
I was just like, no thanks, I'm not interested. And he's like, suit yourself, and he just flew the fuck off.
He was like going through. He's like, "Oh yeah, man." He's like, "We got all these crazy different packages." He's like, "We got the $50,000 silver plan that'll do this, blah 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 blah." He's like, "We got your whole the core of your ship and all this stuff." And I was like, "Damn, should I give him the 50K?" I was like, "Is this actually gonna be something awesome?" I googled it because I was like, I don't want to fucking. Just give him $50,000. Yeah, because if I would have gave him the 50,000, he would have just drive like off, and I would have never I would have just lost my money. And like apparently you can't kill them. So
So like, what about this game changing moment? Not like the game changing moment, but
Yeah.
like the other game changed.
Oh,
the
Sarah?
decision. So what happened with your
I'm
game?
not to that point yet.
You're not to that point?
No.
How are you not?
I have not
How are
had
you
any.
not?
I have
No,
not
no.
had
If you've gotten the Starborn, then you've been to that point.
No. Not necessarily.
there's not been any big
That's the first
decision.
time I ran into the Starborn. Was right whenever they attacked.
I have not had any big decision with Sarah.
I was about to say, I don't know if we're talking about the same thing.
Are we talking about the eye? Like where the situation with the eye?
Yeah, I guess so. But that's after you meet the star. There's like 3 or 4 missions post Starborn first encounter that
Yeah.
lead up to that. So
I haven't had anything happen at the.
Oh yeah, no. Okay, yeah. Then we won't.
probably
ruin it.
like
yeah, I'm gonna
right
say don't go
there, yeah.
spoiling shit for me.
Yeah, I thought you were already there because like
No,
I
I'm
just
probably right at that because I need to turn in that piece that I got from the collector.
yeah. So he hasn't ran into the hunter yet. Then
No.
no.
so yeah. Well, my bad. We were just going over the whole fucking
Yeah.
thing. But basically, the hunter. I thought it was cool that I ran into him because I was texting y'all the other day. I was like, dude, I ran into this crazy guy called the
Yeah, I
hunter.
remember you telling me about
What
that.
I was gonna say is like I didn't realize you were just supposed to run away from him, and I killed him like 7 times. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And that little, I used like all my ammo and healing supplies and shit. And then like after the fight was over, he's like, damn. He's like, nobody's,
Yeah, that's what he said to me.
Nobody's ever fucking hurt me at all. Like,
That's it. If you kill, you have to kill him one time. You can't like you have to, otherwise they won't run into the well. So like you do have to kill him once.
Oh,
So
really?
I haven't
Yeah.
had any attack or nothing from the Starborn on the planet or nothing.
Yeah, basically like and I mean we basically already spoiled.
Yeah.
You get.
Let's like
Well, no,
let's just
no,
cut it
yeah,
right
let's just
there.
cut it
Yeah,
right there,
don't
yeah.
spoil it further.
no, I'm not gonna spoil.
you already
it.
know they're gonna attack you
Yeah.
again because
Yeah.
you've already.
Yeah, so let's just drop it at that.
Yeah. But either way, who's been your favorite companion? Like who's been your focus companion?
Fucking none of them. They're all shitty. I don't like any of them.
I like some of
They
them.
all complain too much. I don't even know. Like, there was one time I didn't even break any laws or do nothing, and they were all mad at me. And I was getting those fucking back dialogues when I was trying to do shit, flying the ship and stuff. And they're like all of them would come up in a fucking line or something and be like, "We need to talk."
Yeah, we need
Sam
to-
Coe, hey man, when you get a second, we need to talk. Sarah, we really need to talk about something you did. And I'm like, what the fuck did I do? And the whole crew fucking left.
Damn.
Damn.
They're not even options to be a crew anymore. I don't know what happened.
Damn.
Oh wow, you fucked your whole shit.
yeah.
dude.
What the fuck?
I literally have been playing a very clean
I've done
run.
a lot of fucked up shit, and my
Yeah.
crew doesn't give a shit. They're like, all right. It's
Yeah,
like
I haven't
they
done
dislike
anything.
that. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
No, dude, they
Get back in the companion tab. No, like
maybe it's a glitch or something, but something
Yeah.
happened that they all really didn't like, and now I had to like re-talk to all of them to get some of them back as a crew member.
God damn, I'd just
Yeah.
be rolling with Vasco. He didn't give a shit, man.
the
Fucking-
robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got what's her face? The Agenta. What's her name?
Oh, the dark-haired girl.
Yeah, that's the only person I run with.
She's
And,
chill.
Yeah, because like she doesn't give a fuck what you do.
She has good benefits for your ship too. When you're like,
Yeah, she like tells you from the get go because like I'm like it is what it is, and she's like I like that thought process. I'm the same way, and I'm like cool.
I
So
said that to her too, but she's complained about some shit that I've done.
our whole friendship is
understand.
based on a secret that I'm keeping from her, for her from everyone else.
oh, that's
Like,
mine
you know
too.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So-
I'm like yep, keep it in the secret. As long as you keep the secret, then she don't give a fuck. So it's like like that. But it's good to have like a companion that can help you in fights and shit like that, and then
Yeah.
Yeah, make
carry
sure
all your
you
shit.
arm your companion because they will use whatever gun or weapon you give them. So
Mhm.
like, it's
Yeah.
if you don't give them a weapon,
They'll just run around.
They'll just be throwing mitts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Dude, fucking Sarah picked up that damn the Gatling gun whenever I first came.
fuck yeah, dude.
Well, no, I was like, I needed it to kill what was
Yeah.
around.
That's real.
And I was like, Sarah, you bitch. I was like, trade. She wouldn't trade with me because we were in combat.
The cool thing is, if you give them a weapon that expends a lot of ammunition, like the Gatling gun,
They don't run out of ammo.
They don't run out of ammo. You only have to give them like 10 bullets or something, and they can just spray fucking Gatling guns forever.
Maybe
you know
that's
what
a
I'm
good
saying?
strat then.
It is a good
is.
strat for sure.
Yeah. All of it's been great though.
Have y'all
Like,
got
there's
any-
so much
It's
more.
really good.
Have y'all
I
gotten
know
a
I'm gonna be
badass
playing this for
melee?
years for sure. Like,
Same.
Oh yeah, I mean this is another Skyrim level.
and same
like,
with Baldur's Gate 3. It's actually kind of crazy that we're blessed with
Two of them back
like,
to back.
equally fucking dense and amazing RPGs. Like, it's like I know just with those 2 games alone, I'm entertained for like basically forever. Like, it's crazy. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure. That's like I'm really happy with it. I was very worried that it wasn't going to be as deep as it is.
I was a little scared when I saw that 7 from IGN.
Same.
I'm not gonna lie.
I really was too, but at the same time, I was like, they are very PlayStation happy over there. So
I
it's
just don't get
really
it. How could you? I just don't understand. Like I fucking
Make it make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I actually have a fucking list of fucking games that IGN has given a fucking higher score than fucking
Starfield. Yeah.
Evolve got a fucking 9 out of 10.
What you really have to look at is Dan Stapleton's reviews, because he's the one who
Is he the one who reviewed fucking Starfield?
Yeah. So
that motherfucker.
Yeah, because Dan Stapleton is the one who gave the review. He's it's very strange that they got him to review it, because he's a PlayStation guy. Of course, I don't know. It's just so dumb. But also, on there, the funny thing is I listened to their podcast, Podcast Unlocked, which is their Xbox podcast, and they brought him on, and it was 3 other IGN reviewer people, and it was the first ad was brought to you by Starfield, blah blah blah. I'm like, so you guys are paid by advertisement through the games that you review?
Yeah.
That just seems really sketch. Just in general, you shouldn't be able to get paid by the games that you're reviewing. I'm just in general, that seems sketchy to me. But
I don't think. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's all I was saying. It just seems sketch.
I just feel like you can't give it a 7. I know I keep saying that.
No,
but just
at the
principle,
very least, it's an 8. The very least.
At the very,
and that's if you
least.
really don't like Bethesda games.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just had a horrible time the entire time you're playing, but
but even then,
on just the fundamentals of how the game is built and shit, that alone warrants a fucking 8.5.
It's a generational thing. It's crazy because we just got Tears of the Kingdom, which I think is a generational
yeah, we got 3 of the best games of all time this year.
Just
of
this
all
year.
time.
Yeah.
Fucking, it's crazy. But what kills me is I know I keep going back and we can't, it's apples to oranges, but how is Outer Worlds higher scores than fucking it's the same game but worse. I don't get it.
With nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a fucking kid's first version of this game, and it's got a fucking 9.
Rough draft.
What the fuck?
Not even a rough draft. It's if somebody drew it in crayon and then was
Starfield's by an artist.
Yeah, Starfield was that actual game.
I recreated Starfield with AI.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For real.
That's yeah.
No,
yeah, it's
definitely.
I
I think it's a 10 out of 10 for me. And straight up,
no doubt for sure.
but it's
my only thing.
If nothing else, it's just as good as every other Bethesda game ever.
Yep, and I love Fallout. I mean? That's the thing. I don't personally like Skyrim because I can't get into the theme of of high fantasy, but I still know that game's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Just because I don't like the way it looks. It's the same thing with Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate 3 is a 10 out of 10. I said this 2 podcasts ago, but I can't get into it because it's just not my thing.
Not a big fantasy guy.
Yeah, but I would never be this game sucks. Or this game's a 7. It's no, I know that the people who like this kind of theme are going to love this game. It's a 10 out of 10. Same thing with Starfield. If you like Bethesda big open RPGs, you're going to give this game a 10 out of 10.
I also feel if you like Mass Effect or any kind of space-themed thing, there's not enough good space-themed video games aside from Star Wars shit. You know what I mean?
Literally, that's it.
This is so original and fucking... But also...
It's brand new IP. All new lore.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a whole new world and universe. Literally universe.
That you get to live in.
It's crazy. Just...
Yeah, it's very upsetting to me that it was getting hit by shit like that. They're PC Gamer gave it a what did they give it? They gave it a 7.5 or something. I'm who are these people?
GameSpot gave it a 7. It's ridiculous. IGN Japan gave it 100. All the other IGNs gave it every non-American
other nation
IGN gave it a fucking good score. And it just blows my mind, man. It's what do you guys want? What do you want out of a video game?
I feel
the pinnacle of fucking video games, and you give it a 7?
I can imagine.
What?
That's what I was worried about, is because now I feel Todd Howard's probably sitting there well, what else could we have done?
Yeah,
like,
right? Like,
there's literally
should have made it online.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Like, no, there's like nothing else you could do, like except for maybe add co-op. But like even then, it would have taken away from what the game is. Like it's just like how are people like giving this a 7? Unless you just are tired of RPGs.
I feel like it's the same people that were like, "Oh, Fallout 4 sucks ass, man. Fallout 3 was the best." And it's like, don't get me wrong, Fallout 3 is great, but Fallout 4 did not suck ass. You know what I mean?
No.
By any stretch of the imagination. It's like people just have this like weird fucking rose-colored glasses they view like the older Bethesda games through, and like somehow this just
isn't up to snuff.
I don't get it. Like, it's so perfect.
The only thing that I could see Fallout 4 having like an issue was the fact that the main character talks. You know, like where it's just like where you're trying to play a role, but it's like the character's already pre-made almost, like because the voice, like it's actually talking for you and stuff.
Yeah.
This one, it's back to basics. Like there's no like the protagonist is you. There's no talking. It's just like
Todd Howard even talked about that. There was a big design choice. Like they almost fucking did a voice protagonist at first, which I don't care one way or another. You know, I liked Fallout 4 and I liked Fallout 3, and either way I enjoyed the fucking voice acting. You know, with or without the voice protagonist involved.
I'm glad they did it this way. I'm
like
glad
it
they
this way
did
too,
because I like the silent protagonist because the protagonist in the RPG is me. You know, so like I imagine my voice, in the game.
It also gives you as a writer more freedom to like write more dialogue for like the main character, because it's like you don't have to have a fucking actor do fucking 50 billion voice lines for, you know. Like,
exactly. Yeah, that too. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, we could talk about Starfield for years.
we will,
and we will probably.
Starfield for years.
But I'm glad we all got to play this early access to like let everybody know, because the game's not even out yet. So like people are going to be hearing.
That's crazy because it's just been my whole life for the past like 5 days. Like
literally.
I did not do shit.
And it will be for the next several. Like I honestly don't know how many more hours. Like the game seems endless. Like it's so weird.
I'm definitely gonna be playing this all month, and then whenever I'm finally done, like when I've finally had enough Starfield, I'm gonna replay Baldur's Gate 3, and then when I've finally had enough Baldur's Gate
back
3,
to Starfield.
I'm gonna replay Starfield.
Well, that's
and
the
then
thing.
I'm just gonna do that forever.
There's New Game Plus, so like I'm interested. This will probably be, besides Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3, this will probably be the only other game I'll ever do New Game Plus with.
New Game Plus will be cool because you'll be able to go through and like do all the like opposing sides of the factions that you were like going up against. Or
I'm doing
you
all
know
the
what
factions in this playthrough. Like I don't know. Like
there's got to be one like group that you side with that alienates you from doing another group. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
that's the thing. They said you can literally do anything. Like you can be just because you finish one faction, you can still go to any other faction and do the whole thing. Like that. Like
I'm sure there's going to be one there, like a conflict comes
There
up.
has to be
There's going to be conflict.
There has to be some choice you make that New Game Plus would be worth doing over. You know what I mean? Like
I think obviously because you can have companions, you know, like disappear or die, like or not want to be with you anymore and stuff like that. That's where I think the New Game Plus comes in, where like you make those decisions that alter like your path or whatever, like on the main quests and side quests, and that's in the way that you handle each faction. Like each faction quest has like 3 different alternatives. You know, like you can either kill the people, you can you know, like persuade or do whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so like no matter what, New Game Plus is going to give you like so many different outcomes, you know, but it's like you can still though like go do the whole faction quest. Like I'm a full on, like I said, no, for the Vanguard, I'm like, it's done. I've done it all. But now I'm doing the free, whatever the fuck they're called.
The Rangers.
Yeah, all the way
That's
through.
my next thing I'm about to do. But I'm also about to do this undercover thing where I'm like busting up the drug ring or some shit. So I'm kind of dividing my time between those two right now. Like,
undercover for you, dude. I love it, dude.
It's really cool.
But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into the news. Otherwise, we're gonna be here all night, and I still got Starfield to play. But, just so you guys know, we are using articles from gaming news sites from around the web, and we do not claim any of the articles as our own. We're simply bringing them all to one place, giving you the news, giving it to you. I don't know.
Man, it's great that Game Pass finally has a fucking
a
good
hit.
game on it. You know what I mean?
Dude, this alone sells Game Pass for me. Like if you don't have Game Pass, get Game Pass just to play this. Like
For sure.
literally.
If you only have a PS5, I feel very bad for you.
No, but if you got a PC, like fucking get on Game Pass
Yeah.
PC.
No,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what I said. If you only have a PS5.
If you only have a PS5.
Yeah.
This is actually the exclusive that Xbox needs.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is an Xbox seller. Like
Yeah.
literally. Like I would
Oh, yeah.
buy an Xbox just for this if I didn't have one.
No, Xbox needs this, you know, like
Yeah.
for sure.
Or like, and the thing is, I've been watching like the performance reviews and stuff. The Series S plays it just fine. Like this is the first game coming to the Series S that's like, oh, it's up to par with the Series X like version of it. Like it's not up to par. Like obviously
There has to be some
there's a
sort of
1080p
concession.
versus like
Yeah.
having the 4K.
That's not
So
bad. If the only compromise is resolution,
that's it. That's the only compromise.
that's not too bad.
Because 30 frames is the cap on both of them.
Yeah, but
So.
it's one of those things. I've enjoyed games at 30 frames per second my whole life. Starfield would be very enjoyable still,
As long as
at
it's
a solid,
solid
30,
30,
Yeah,
which
smooth
apparently it
30.
is. So like, so
When it hits 30 on my PC, it's not that smooth. But
No, but that's because it's dropping. You're trying to hit 60 and
It's all about
dropping
your
below.
frame pacing, actually. Like, whenever you're trying to do 30 frames per second, the reason sometimes on PC it doesn't look smooth at 30 frames per second is because your frame pacing isn't on, par with
So,
your...
yeah.
Like, you can get 30 frames per second, but then your pacing is still off, and it, makes it look jittery
jarring.
and weird. Yeah.
Also, Xbox is AMD, which is like, the
This
Well,
game
it's
was
AMD
built-
sponsored.
this game was built
yeah,
for
this game was
AMD.
built for AMD, and like everybody I know uses RTX, or fucking
NVIDIA.
NVIDIA.
Mhm.
My bad. But yeah. Anyway, so let's get into the news. Who wants to go first? Because I need to go pee. One of y'all just go.
I'd like to see how it performs on the Steam Deck. I've seen mixed things about Steam Deck performance. You know what I mean?
I didn't think it'd be even be playable at all on Steam Deck.
I don't know. I think some people are saying they're in the 30s, but then it's 30, but then whenever you go into the trouble spots that you have on PC, it drops into the low 20s. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it'd probably be playable but uncomfortable in places like Aquila City and
They just,
fucking.
they just
you
got to
know.
get some optimization patches out for it. I
Yeah.
think that's going to
It
alleviate
really fixed.
a lot.
I know that Baldur's Gate 3 went from very rough on the Steam Deck to fucking amazing on the Steam Deck after that most recent patch
Yeah.
they put on there. You know what I mean?
I guarantee you after the first patch, they're getting a lot of feedback right now. I think we'll see some good improvements.
For sure.
So I'll kick it off. There wasn't really any big news this week.
Yeah, just a couple little things. Not
or
too
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Did you have I guess what would you say is the biggest? Probably the Nintendo Direct, huh?
Probably the Volition thing.
Volition. See, I didn't even see that.
Uh,
Go ahead and kick it off then.
Okay. I guess we can kick it off with that. Yesterday, Volition Games, the studio behind Saints Row and Red Faction, announced it was shutting down effective immediately. Today, it released a new statement discussing its 30-year history and thanking the talent that has come through its doors across 3 decades and its community of fans. So, pretty sad stuff there. We've a lot of good memories with Saints Row and Red Faction and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think it was their time as a studio after
I
that
guess
last
so. That last Saints Row game,
it was exceptionally bad.
it was rough.
I didn't
It
see
was
a
rough.
single
I
good
even
thing.
played it. I tried to get into it, you
Yeah.
know, because I'm one of those people, I just want to try everything, even if people say it's bad, I'm like, fuck it, let's give it a whirl. Maybe we'll have a fucking Starfield or a Cyberpunk situation where I'm just super into it,
No.
This is not the case with Saints Row. The only thing I can say
Yeah.
positive about Saints Row is it looks good. It's not graphically stunning, but the lighting and the character models, it's not a bad looking game.
Yeah.
It looks modern. That's about all I can say about it in a good way. Saints Row 3 was peak Saints Row, and then it just completely went downhill from there. You know what I mean? I will say I think the most recent Saints Row is better than Saints Row 4. but not better than Saints Row 3.
See, I never really fucked with any of the Saints Rows just because I was always heavy into GTA.
Saints Row 2 was good. Saints Row 2 was awesome.
Saints Row 2 and 3 are fucking awesome games.
Yeah.
Like they
But
really
2 and
are.
3 are completely separate
They're
things.
very different. Yeah.
2 was like a GTA clone, but had like gangs.
Gang focus. And
Saints
then
Row
the third
1 was like a serious like gang thing for like PS2 or something. When did Saints Row 1 come out? PS2.
I didn't play 1. I only played 2
Well,
and 3.
I played 1. Like 1 was like had a kind of a serious story. It was kind of like
So
stupid
did 2.
looking. Yes, 2 did too, but it was like it got a little more wacky into, but it was still fucking like a serious like gang related like gang movie type story.
Which was cool though because you could have gangs. Like you could literally have gangs.
Well, that was the whole point of Saints Row is like, you know, Saints Row was your gang and like, you know, you're fucking leader of the gang and you're in the gang.
You get to pick the color for your gang and all that
the whole
shit.
like story was about like rising through the ranks of your gang or whatever.
Yeah, you
know
break
what I
out
mean?
of a prison at the beginning of Saints Row 2.
Yeah, Saints Row 1, you're like the first part is you getting like jumped into the gang and shit.
It's
you
so
know what
cool.
I mean?
It was on 360.
But Saints Row
Yeah.
3 got wacky. Saints Row 3, your gang is so
Yeah.
big that you've like become the
You're
president
like the
of the
president
United
and
of
shit.
States and shit.
Yeah.
Which is it just goes off the deep end, but it's honestly fucking super fun. Like Saints Row 3 has some really awesome like missions and fucking wacky things that happen and like weapons and vehicles and like it's a cool game. You
The
know?
only reason I didn't like 3, I felt like the physics felt kind of whack. Like 2 was still like ragdoll.
See, that's one of the
like,
things I actually really liked about 3. It was like the crazy physics, man. Like you blow, like they had like a thing where you like try to cause as much destruction as possible or whatever, and it like put you in a tank and put you in the middle of town. And as you're like blowing up cars and stuff, it's like giving you like scores and money based on the scores and shit. And like the explosions from the cars are just causing other things to blow up, and it's just fucking chaos, you know. Like and
Yeah.
for the time, you know, there was a
was
lot of
cool.
shit going on the screen. You know, it was like blowing up here and shooting shit over here and ragdoll physics over here, and it was just impressive. You know what I mean? For the time, you know.
Yeah. I just remember it being wacky.
I like some of. Sorry to go back to Starfield, but some of the like zero G physics in Starfield are
it's
really
cool.
nice, man.
The zero G
Like,
fights are great.
when you blow up an asteroid or something and the little chunks of it are like flying around, bouncing off the other asteroids and stuff, that's really cool. Fucking.
Also, everything you get, like loot-wise. Sorry, we're going back to Starfield for a second. Everything feels like it's something worth getting.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
uh-huh.
It's not like in Zelda where or Tears of the Kingdom where like you'll go really far for something and it's like you got an apple. Like it's like you'll go fuck it. Like everything feels worth what you did.
Yeah.
You know, like
and there's
at the
enough
end.
legendary stuff to be like, yeah, I'm getting some cool shit, but there's not so much legendary stuff where it's like, this
Yeah.
game's like oversaturated with gold items. You know
Yeah.
what I
Though
mean? Like,
I think you can increase a skill that increases the amount of like legendary shit you find.
Give me that.
Yeah, it's on one of them.
Scavenging skill? Right?
Scavenger or something.
Oh, I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Jamel.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and talk some more Starfield. Apparently,
Hey.
Starfield is currently performing very well for a game that isn't officially out yet, topping Xbox sales charts and drawing in thousands of users on Steam. As reported by VG247, Game Pass members are currently flocking to the Xbox store to hand over an extra $31.49 simply to play Starfield a few days early. That's 5 days. That's not a few. What's a few? It's a few like
Three.
It feels significant
Few is
considering
3.
how much time I've spent playing Starfield
yeah.
the past
It was 5 days
You know?
early.
We had a 3-day weekend too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was worth the $30 for sure. I've spent $30 on way less entertaining shit. I'll tell you that right now.
And doesn't
And we'll get the DLC with it too.
right?
so.
Don't we get the
Oh,
DLC?
bet,
Yeah,
really?
the DLC,
Yep.
is, which I think is coming
It's
in
like, what?
January. Like,
Fuck yeah, dude.
yeah, I think it's slated for January. I'm pretty sure, but
Yeah, broken space.
They always have good fucking DLC for their like mainline Bethesda games.
oh yeah, what was it?
Well-
Point Break or something? Point Lookout on Fallout 3. Yeah, dude.
But the thing is with this, like,
Dude.
there's so much more they could expand with the DLC, like beyond just like adding another
Yeah.
story. They could add other mechanics to
Other
the game.
systems like
I really don't even care about any of that. I just want fucking a whole planet's worth of cool shit.
New
like, you know what
cities,
I mean?
like-
yeah, give me just handcrafted.
please add
detailed
maps.
shit.
Please add local maps.
I'm with that. Fucking like, you know, and I think that's what they're going to do. I mean, Fallout 4, all of Fallout 4's DLCs Well, no. 2 of Fallout 4's DLCs added like entirely separate like areas. Like they had the Far Harbor DLC, which was like a whole fucking like new section of the map, and then there was that Nuka World DLC, which was like an amusement park that was like Nuka-Cola themed or whatever. And then Fallout 3 had Operation Anchorage, Point Lookout, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Like they have a tendency to make
which increase like the level cap and everything. Like
there is no level cap
on this
shit,
one,
which
yeah.
is great. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have like a level 200 motherfucking.
But then you hit
All
New
the
Game Plus.
skills.
Like New Game Plus is when your cap will restart.
No,
so
that's the whole point of New Game Plus. So you don't.
you keep all your stuff, but like your level will drop back down, so you can restart everything. Like
I don't think that's how
right?
it works.
Doesn't
No.
it restart your skills?
Not on
No.
most New Game
No, you
Plus
go back
stuff.
through, like, stuff will be harder, but you'll keep all the level and skills that you got. from
Oh,
the
that's
first
what it does. That okay? Yeah, I don't do New Game Plus very often. But
Idiot. No.
I know. I don't know. But it says basically, so the premium edition upgrade, which comes with some extra bits but is headlined by the chance to play ahead of September 6th, is currently the best-selling item across the U.S. and UK Microsoft stores. The early access tactic administered by Microsoft is a neat way of gaining back some sales revenue lost by putting Starfield and other exclusives on Game Pass day one.
Did you see Baldur's Gate cashing in on that? They were like, fucking the PlayStation one is supposed to come out on like the 6th or something. They're like, fuck it. If you guys give us fucking buy our premium edition of Baldur's Gate, we'll let you have it now.
Oh, really?
They went ahead and did it, and like people are buying the shit out of it.
Nice.
To fucking play it, which is like,
That's
I mean,
smart.
it's smart.
This I think was probably the smartest thing they could have done because of the fact that Starfield was coming to Game Pass day one.
Yep.
It's like, hey, at least if you
Make
give
a
it
little money off of it.
yeah, because they're making money off of Game Pass already. So if they do the $31.99 for the premium plus
Yeah.
the $15 that
You
you're
already
already
know they're
paying,
getting paid like fat for the Game
Oh,
Pass
yeah.
rights for this shit. You know?
definitely.
I mean, I know they're owned by Xbox. But
Oh, I'm
they're
talking
still
about
being
for-
compensated. Like fucking,
Yeah, but I'm talking about for Xbox, because this is definitely.
Oh, everybody's buying Game
Yeah.
Pass for this. Yeah.
Yeah, not just Game Pass, but the $31.95, which all of this goes to Xbox because Xbox owns Bethesda.
Yeah.
So like Bethesda's getting paid salary. Like
Yeah.
they're
All the
already getting
Steam
paid whatever they're
sales,
getting
all
paid.
that shit. This is
Yeah.
Xbox's first come up in a long time.
Yeah, this is all Xbox making money, like right now.
Thank God, because honestly, they probably really, really need it right now with all the purchases and stuff they've
Yeah.
been making lately. Like, this is the first time they're getting a return on their investment, really.
And
you know
what do you
I mean?
expect? It's Bethesda.
I don't even think Diablo counts because they haven't finished the fucking Activision. Or have they finished the Activision thing?
They haven't finished it yet, but they're about to. And so all that money is going to come through to them. But also, not just, we got Stalker 2 still coming. Liza P is coming day one on the 18th, which apparently has been doing
think
really
Liza
well.
P is going to be trash, bro. I really do. After playing the demo, like, I'm not impressed.
Really? I liked it. Like,
Really?
a lot of people liked it, too.
It just reminds me of like Wukong, Fallen Dynasty, or any of those other fucking games, or like that one where you're like the French marionette girl. Like it's like all the other fucking Dark Souls spin-offs to me. Like fucking.
We'll see, though, because it's been getting, like, really good, like, review previews and stuff like that.
I think it's gonna be a flash in the pan.
I ain't trusting no reviews no more.
That's
Yeah.
true. That is true. But we'll see, though. But Steam users are also getting involved, even though the only opportunity to pay early there is to buy the full premium edition at $100. According to data on SteamDB, Starfield hit a concurrent peak of over 245,000 players. So that means 245,000 people have paid $100 on Steam to play the game early, with
yeah.
with the daily
I mean-
peak rising between September 1st and 3, despite the package slowly growing less valuable. So like people,
I don't even think that's that outrageous, honestly. Like, I think people would be buying the premium edition regardless. Like
No.
a lot of people would like on Steam, like not necessarily because like people are obviously buying it to
For
play
the
their
play it
early
early.
access. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that people would still be buying the shit out of this game. You know what I mean? If it wasn't.
I still haven't even looked at like the little extra shit that came with the premium thing, like the.
Yeah, I have no idea what I got other than
It came with
early
like
access.
I think it comes with like a little DVD like behind the scenes
Oh
thing.
yeah. Actually, I downloaded that. I have it downloaded.
I just haven't watched it
I
yet.
did too. Yeah.
But I definitely, I'm going to watch it, like, because, dude, this is the first time in a long time I played a game that I feel like I can just, like, live in it. Like,
Yeah.
I want to, Like I felt that with Tears of the Kingdom, but not to this extent. Like
yeah, I mean, it's so much deeper than Tears
so
of the
deep.
Kingdom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just on a fucking
RPG
grandiose
level.
Yeah.
But anyways, Starfield sales aren't the only surprise from its early access period, though, as again, even though it's not officially launched, someone has already completed the game in less than 3 hours. But trust me, if you play this game in 3 hours, you have not played the game.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not surprised, but I'm more surprised that we haven't seen any Thomas the Tank Engine spaceship mods yet.
Because people are making like performance mods. Somebody already added an FOV slider.
FOV slider. There's something that fixes the washed out color. There's several mods for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, for some reason,
That
like
seems
the
like
blacks
something
are
they
so
could
washed
just
out.
implement themselves.
Which they will. I guarantee you there's going to be a patch coming, like probably
I just feel like the
close
HDR isn't kicking on or something. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like
The dark colors are very washed out for me.
I think that's what it is. It's the dark. It's the contrast. I think the contrast is a little off. But once they fix that,
there's no video setting.
turn your film grain off immediately.
Yeah,
film grain to nothing.
I've adjusted my TV a little bit, and it made a big difference in just the overall like look of everything. But still, I don't usually have to do that.
But no, I cannot wait to see what kind of mods come for this game. It's gonna be
stupid.
Limitless possibility.
Knowing Bethesda, they're super supportive of the modding community too, so it'll probably be very easy to implement your crazy ass mods too once it starts, coming out.
Yeah. Now, Devin, what you got?
Not much actually. So, Pokemon is getting a live action drama series.
Hey,
Yeah.
live action.
HBO, like just fucking Game of Thrones
Super
level,
overproduced.
just super violent.
So the Pokemon Company is gathering with TV Tokyo to create a live-action drama based on its long-running franchise. Post on X from TV Tokyo below. Translated by Sarah B. announced a pocket filled with adventure, a TV series premiering on October 19th in Japan. It's currently unclear.
Oh, it's only Japan.
Yeah, it's currently unclear if the show will make its way west or receive an official English subtitle.
They're trying to get on that One Piece live action.
I kind of want to watch it really fucking bad.
Yeah, have you seen anything
No,
about it?
I haven't seen. This is the first I've heard about.
Same.
This.
Yeah, I'm down to watch this.
That
I hope
sounds
it's
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
I was really into Detective Pikachu, so
me too, dude. Everybody was like, "Ooh, it wasn't that great, dude." I thought it was awesome.
Hold on. So, okay, so it's not going to be what you're thinking. So, unlike Pokemon's previous live-action adventure, the Detective Pikachu, pocket filled with adventures seemingly won't feature quote real versions of the beloved pocket monsters.
It's a trading card series.
But instead tells a story of Madoka Akagi who, as she connects with the video game franchise.
Oh, that's
lame.
Lame.
I'm
and
good.
for those reasons,
don't even call it a live-action Pokemon show, bitch. Like,
yeah, that's a little just a.
Like that's just some clickbait right there. Fucking.
That's like the Gran Turismo movie. Like
Yeah.
it's like a
At
guy
least
playing the Gran Turismo game.
Well, he does eventually in the movie go on to like race on the fucking Gran Turismo races and shit.
But
like.
no.
Is that what it's called? Like the Gran Turismo race?
I don't fucking know. I don't know shit about NASCAR.
Yeah, I
But
don't.
I know that the movie is based on a true story about a guy who got to like race real race cars.
Yeah,
based
but I
on
think that
doing
it's
it.
basically the same thing though. It's like she's, a girl who's playing the
Who
game.
got to play real Pokemon
Yeah.
because she played Pokemon.
a drama series.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like a soap opera about Pokemon.
a soap opera. Wait, okay, Brent, what you got?
All right, let's see. Steam Deck continues to rule the world of handheld PCs, but the upcoming Lenovo Legion Go,
Damn, another one.
poses a real threat to its throne. With powerful hardware, a striking design, and a reasonable price, the Legion Go could become a viable alternative to the Steam Deck.
What's the specs?
Here we go. Let's see. Here's a look at the Lenovo Legion Go to help you decide if it's worth a reservation. The Lenovo Legion Go will be available at either 1 terabyte or 512 SSD. Aside from that, most of the specs are shared across the two models. This includes an AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme, an 8.8-inch display with 144 Hz refresh rate, and 16 gigabytes of RAM. The Legion,
How they fit all that in the fucking handheld?
I don't know, bro. It says the Legion Go runs on Windows 11. It'll be compatible with most games on your library.
Dude, my PC's not even compatible with Windows 11. But this fucking handheld is.
It says both controllers straddle the sides of the display and are removable like Switch Joy-Cons. You'll even find a kickstand on the back of the display. It's
That's
got
cool.
2 USB-C ports so you can charge it and fucking run a fucking port into it at the same time, which is a big problem with the Steam Deck. Like,
Yeah, if you want to send it to your
yeah,
PC.
you got to make sure you have a dock that hooks up to the wall, or else, you know. Anyways, it's cool. It seems like
That's-
they've thought of some stuff.
How much, though?
It's got multiple micro SD slots, so you can carry like multiple different like you know, like
Games.
memory cards
Yeah.
on it at once. You know, so you have a shitload. Theoretically, you could have like 4 1 terabyte fucking micro SDs in it and just be like loaded up forever with games. It's $700. So
How much is the Steam Deck? That's like $400.
the Steam Deck ranges from $400 to $600 depending on what model you get.
That's
so
really
the
cool.
lowest price is $700.
Yeah, I think the lowest end one is $700 on this one, which is the same as the other one that came out, the
ROG Ally.
the Ally.
ROG, yeah.
And
Yeah.
both the ROG Ally and this are a little bit more powerful than the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But wasn't the ROG Ally's better one was $700? The lower end was like $500 or something.
I'm not sure. I think the ROG was just $700 base
No,
model.
I thought there was a lower.
There's a lower one. It's like $500.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm
I
positive.
really like how it has the detachable with the kickstand,
Yeah,
so
it's
you can
pretty
like
neat.
set it up on something that, like, if you're just like leaned over, you ain't gotta have hold the whole device up in your face.
Yeah, I like the Joy-Con controllers being able to take off too.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure what Steam games
Yeah.
would be practical with that. You know what I mean?
The cheaper ROG or ROG Ally is $599.
Oh, that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, so that's why I was wondering. That one's kind of expensive for the. Are you sure that's
The
not
handheld
that
space?
the better version is $700?
All I know is it said $700. And
Okay.
It doesn't even have that part of the article in here for whatever reason.
Interesting.
But
Okay.
you know, that's just
Cool.
what I read earlier.
Hey, I mean, we called it back when the Steam Deck was coming out that it was going to generate, more devices in
Yeah.
this space. We're seeing it, and it's only a matter of time before, that competition drives the prices down on this tech, and the tech gets, becomes normal, and we see the price drops from that. So
Yeah, I honestly feel like it's going to be hard to compete with Steam Deck just as far
Because of
as
Steam.
well, because of how cheap the Steam Deck
Yeah.
is. You
Yeah.
know, $400 is still, $300 cheaper than fucking,
Definitely.
the this one, and $200 cheaper than the cheapest other one, and like the cheapest model of Steam Deck is pretty fucking like
Powerful.
able to do things. Actually, I think the cheapest model is like $300 on the Steam Deck. I'm gonna look that up real quick.
Yeah, I think they're doing some kind of sell or something.
But the point is, the Steam Deck can still handle most stuff. You know what I mean? And like, if you're on a budget, it's probably the best way to go. And other people aren't really going to be able to compete with like the actual value of the Steam Deck, just because Steam itself can afford to take a loss on the hardware because of the
Sales
sales
it'll generate,
generated.
yeah.
You know. So hang on, let's see.
what you got, Jim? Oh,
Steam Deck starts at $420. It says so.
Okay.
420. Nice.
Ew.
They knew what they were doing. Okay, so Starfield has had some crazy marketing schemes, but this one I think is the craziest. They burned this man's house down. It says that California man has credited Starfield with saving his family's life after a fire ripped through his apartment block during a late night gaming binge. The Redditor Tidikilla said Starfield Tidikilla. I think that it said Starfield saved me and my family's life.
That's what I'm naming my next ship.
Tidikilla. The Starfield saved me and my family's life in a post that described how an all-night gaming session on August 31st, the day Starfield early access began, meant he was awake and alert to respond to a fire that local news reports say killed a person. Quote,
Damn.
I have waited, dude, Todd Howard has blood on his
And
hands.
Starfield saved his
No,
life,
no,
but did
that's
he
the
save
opposite.
Starfield's life? Did he save his Xbox from that burning fire?
That's what I was
You
wondering. I
know?
was like, did he get to save his PC? But it says, I have waited for this game since the trademark rumors of 2015 to 2016. Don't remember when exactly, Tidikilla said. I don't think that's actually what it is.
It's good.
Tidikilla. But it says, in anticipation, I pre-ordered the premium edition waiting to play this game. On the night of August 31st, I decided to stay up and play as long as possible. To experience this new universe. At 2:26 in the morning while playing the game, I heard an explosion from my downstairs neighbor's apartment. I paused my game to see what was happening. When I opened the door, I saw flames rising up our stairwell to our apartment. I
Holy
immediately
shit.
got my wife and cat rushing us to safety with only minor burns. If I hadn't been up binging Starfield, I would have been asleep and we would have all died to smoke inhalation. I want to thank the game for saving my family and me from a horrible fate. Tidikilla published a number of photos of the incident, which took place in the city of Chico in Northern California. According to KRCR-TV, one person died following the fire at the Sheridan Manor apartments, with 3 people trapped in a bedroom on the second floor rescued by a ladder.
Damn, R.I.P. He should have been playing Starfield, man. Shit.
Goodness. The cause is currently under investigation. Quote, which I think it's going to go back to Todd Howard. Wall of fire coming up the stairs as seen in the picture. Couldn't see or breathe the whole time. Just had to feel my way out. Alarm didn't go off till my wife opened the door to run. Then a separate post, Tidikilla said he and his wife plan to move to Nevada following the incident, which has accelerated prior plans. So
Because no fires ever happen in Nevada.
he's trying to get closer to fucking, New Vegas, dude.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, he's a true Bethesda fan. But yeah, they were like, all right, we got to get some hype built around the game. We're saving lives out here and taking them. No, but anyways, what you got, Devin?
Damn.
So the next installment of Call of Duty 3 Modern Warfare, or Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, is going to launch with an in-game voice chat moderation that's powered by AI.
Yeah, so like if you say
Profanities. Watch out,
not profanities.
No,
it's if you're like slurring
like
and
reportable
This
language.
is how it starts, and then 20 years from now, it's like that
The Minority
that
Report.
Demolition Man movie where you're fucking walking around. Every time you cuss, so like a ticket prints out of the
Yeah.
wall. Fucking-
that movie was way ahead of its
it
time.
really was. dude.
You have to watch what you say at all times.
Like it actually has a lot of like salient fucking commentary on the modern
really does, like with the Taco Bell and everything.
and like the Arnold Schwarzenegger for president. That was like before Arnold Schwarzenegger ever considered
Ran
running
for
for
governor.
or anything. Like it was like way ahead of its time. Like
dude, I love that movie too.
it's a good movie.
It's got Sandra Bullock in it.
Sandra Bullock, Wesley Snipes, Sylvester Stallone,
Yeah.
fucking all-star cast, dude.
Good old Wesley, man.
It's like it's one of those movies that gets overlooked whenever it comes to like Blade Runner and things like that, just because
Yeah.
it's so like wacky.
It's
but
so
at the,
goofy.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's like, all those old school 80s action movies were kind of
goofy,
had
yeah.
that
Just
like
over the top.
just super over the top, like cheesy, but it's
Yeah.
great.
That's the great thing about 80s movies, man.
Yeah.
80s action movies are great.
definitely worth a
Fucking
watch.
classic.
Everything's so cyberpunk in the 80s. Like
Right?
Yeah, 2010 was like just fucking. We had flying cars and this and that.
oh yeah. What you got, Brent?
All right, let's see. Baldur's Gate 3 Patch 2 is live now, so if you've been having performance issues with Baldur's Gate 3, jump back on in there because they probably fixed it on up. Also, they made it to where if you're like a short character, you can get freaky now. They added some animations. And fucking some of the other characters that didn't have enough story stuff, they added some like in-game content for them and like, extra scenes with them and stuff. So that's pretty cool. They also announced that the Xbox version is going to be coming sooner than later. Let's see. It says that it's going to be coming between September and November is what it says.
Damn, that's like this
so
month.
it's like right around the corner. So Xbox is going to be getting that shit real soon, which is awesome for Xbox people.
Yeah, that's really great.
fucking this just sucks because you're gonna have to pick a fucking one of the best, which of the best games of all time you're gonna play, fucking,
Or both.
You know what I mean?
I mean, Starfield's on Game Pass, so you can play Baldur's Gate. Spend your money on Baldur's Gate and then just play Starfield for free.
I highly recommend playing them both for sure, but like you're gonna have to focus on one
or the other.
You know what I mean? Because they both
yeah.
demand like all of your attention. But like you should definitely play them both. If you have an Xbox, you're blessed because like you can play Starfield until they finally drop Baldur's Gate. It'll definitely keep you entertained until then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you got to finish it. That's the thing is like I think what's going to happen is, you're going to play one or the other for like 2 months and then play the next one for like 2 months probably.
This is a really great month for Xbox though, man. Like to have Starfield and Baldur's Gate coming to you like this month is just fucking super good. It's just what Xbox needed for real.
It feels good as an Xbot, like just I'm not even playing it on my Xbox, but just knowing, that like my Xbox has finally got something to play on it, that you can't play anywhere else but PC, Anyway, so Square Enix has announced that Final Fantasy 16 is getting 2 paid DLC expansions and confirmed its PC port is officially in development. It's like, what? It wasn't this whole time? But more details about both aspects will be revealed later this year. Quote, as I mentioned earlier, we've seen many opinions and reactions from our community of Final Fantasy 16 players, said producer Naoki Yoshida. But one thing that came through particularly strongly was how people wanted to see more of Valisthea's story and spend more time with her inhabitants. Yoshida then officially announced that the development team had started working on 2 paid DLC installments. He then went on to share some good news for those hoping to play the latest Final Fantasy on their PC. Finally, while Final Fantasy 16 was released as a PlayStation 5 exclusive, we are aware that many of you have been asking for a PC version, Yoshida said, so allow me to take this opportunity to officially announce the development on a PC version is currently underway. I hope to be able to give you more information on both versions before the end of the year, so please stay tuned. So
Phil Spencer should really just be like, fuck it, y'all can make a Series X version, you know what I mean? Like, fuck the Series S, let's just drop the Series X version. Because that would just be one more game that you'd have on Xbox, you know what I mean? Like,
I think whenever it comes to, I know they said that they're trying, like, I know, like, Phil Spencer was, like, there with, like, the producer or something, like, on one of the stages for some conference, but I really think that it's a money thing. Like, I think PlayStation is still getting, like, timed exclusives on that because we still haven't even seen 7 come to Xbox. Like, and 7 came out on the PS4.
They really didn't drop 7 on Xbox?
No,
yet?
7 still hasn't come, and
That's actually really surprising to me, fucking, because 15 came to Xbox, right?
Yeah, the 15. No, yeah, 15 came to Xbox, but
weird.
Yeah,
it's weird that they like pick and choose which ones come to Xbox.
Because
like,
7 Remake was a timed exclusive for PlayStation.
7 Remake makes sense to me. I know that was a big PlayStation thing, but the developers of 16 have specifically said that like Series S was what was holding back the Xbox
for 16.
version. You know what I mean? Yeah, for 16,
but not for 7.
Not for 7.
But for 7 Remake, 7 Remake literally.
7 was kind of a throwback to like early PlayStation. It makes sense for PlayStation to pay for that to be exclusive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they only paid for a timed exclusive, and then it was supposed to come 6 months later.
Like the Resident Evil 7 VR thing. It's like once you get past a certain point, it's like they have to, as a studio, decide is it worth the fucking like
putting it out. But I mean, I think it is because they're still doing part 2 and 3. Like, why not just put part 1 out?
I would be surprised if like they don't eventually bring it to Xbox, but then I guess they can't because it has to come to Series S. You know what I mean? Like in some capacity. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, 7 wouldn't be. There's no issues with that.
I think honestly, when AMD FSR 3 comes out, like as crazy as this sounds, I think FSR 3 is going to completely change the fucking game. And like games like that wouldn't originally be able to come to Xbox Series S are going to like suddenly just be totally viable. You know?
Oh, I'm sure. Like, but the thing is, the Final Fantasy 7 Remake came out on the PS4. It could easily come to
I'm not even talking about remakes.
No, but I am. I'm
talking about 16 specifically.
But
you're never going to get 7 Remake. Like, that's never, ever going to
happen. That's what I'm saying.
I will say this. You might get Remake Part 2.
I doubt it.
And if they do Part 1, like, for Xbox, it'll be when Part 2 comes out. But, like, you know what I mean?
I guess that would be the only way. But it makes no sense to me other than they're paying to keep it off. That's the only thing I can think of, because I know Phil Spencer has been wanting it on Xbox.
I'm thinking that the studio is probably so fucking focused on what's going to make them the next big cash grab.
That
And right
too.
now, their fucking focus is probably 16 DLC. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. I mean, I like how they just started. Like, how do you start?
I don't think they
DLC
thought
after?
16 was going to be as well received as it was, because honestly, it was a very mid game, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it was beautiful looking. The combat was fun, but the world was empty. The side quests were hollow. It was just a very, like...
That's
if it-
JRPGs in general, though. Like, I feel like most JRPGs are like that, except for
True,
like
but it was
Persona.
like exceptionally fucking bland. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, compare 7 to fucking 7 part 1 to fucking 16, and it's just like
Day and night.
it's day and night. Just as far as like, they're both beautiful games. They're both great looking games, but just like the world in 7 feels more like alive and full, and the quests feel more meaningful and shit. You know what I mean? 16 was a great game when you're like waiting on the next big game to come out. But, like, it's definitely not something I would play when I have options like Starfield or something at my disposal. You know what I mean?
When I saw Final Fantasy 16, like whenever I saw people playing it, I was like, dude, I could not. Like,
I played the whole game, you know? I spent,
Yeah.
like, fucking 60 hours playing
Well, I
that
mean, you
shit,
bought it.
know what I mean?
If I bought it, I'd play the shit out of it. But it's like, I just like seeing it. I was like, dude, this just doesn't speak to me on any level. But and that's
It was very
but 7
hack and
does.
slashy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like love Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
You know, like
The remake's good, too. They did a good job with it. I mean,
Venomverse says, "How are you doing, guys?
oh, what up,
Did I-
Venomverse?
would it do?
We're doing good."
Yeah, we're now that Starfield is playable.
How do you feel
life
about
is great.
Starfield, Venomverse?
Yeah, tell us your feelings. Brent, what you got?
Oh, yes. Let's see. Is it me again? PlayStation Plus has some free games coming for September 23rd. The free games for September for PlayStation are Saints Row for PS5, PS4, the new one that just came out, which is, you know, kind of like a sad send-off for Volition if you
Yeah.
think about it. You know what I mean? And then Black Desert Traveler Edition, which I have no idea what that is, and Generation Zero. So, yeah, check that out.
Oi.
Damn,
Yeah. You got anything?
I'm all out.
All right, we got some other stuff here. This one, I believe, will make Brent happy. Paradox Interactive has announced that Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is back in development.
Oh, hell yeah, boy.
With-
I actually saw the trailer for this thing. The fucking trailer looks sick. I'm so excited for this. Like,
Really?
yes.
So it's
It looks like fucking Starfield with fucking vampires, dog. Fucking, you
It's
know
a pretty
what I
bold
mean?
claim.
Like,
Yeah.
maybe not like big like Starfield, but it look, you know, it's got that pretty like cyberpunky new age RPG like gloss to it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But with some vampires up in there. You know what I'm saying? And if you know anything about Vampire the Masquerade at all, fucking, it's already got like a really complex system of like lore and factions
Yeah.
and all kinds of cool
it's based
stuff.
off a tabletop game.
There's not much you got to do other than just make a sweet game based around all the fucking existing.
The
shit.
content's there.
Yeah, the
Dude.
content's there. You know.
You know the tabletop game? Apparently there were some like murders based around it, like back in the 90s.
Goddamn.
Like it was like some group of people that were like, we're actual vampires, you know, and like you know, they're just too deep in the D&D, you know. But like no, I was watching.
I want to suck your blood.
No, I was watching this YouTube video and like they pulled a clip from an old Unsolved Mysteries from the 90s. It was like, and like he comes on, he's like, a game called Vampire the Masquerade, and he's like talking about like, what the
Turned
fuck,
deadly.
dude?
Damn,
yeah,
bro.
I was like, damn. I was like, I didn't know the
to
Unsolved
check that
Mysteries
out.
guy talked about Vampire the Masquerade. Just hearing him say it was like mind blowing.
I want
But-
Larian Studios to make a Vampire the Masquerade game like they made fucking, you know, take the Vampire the Masquerade rule set like the tabletop game and make a fucking like Baldur's Gate 3 style fucking vampire game. That would be the shit.
That would be cool. Yeah. But it says basically it's in development with Everybody's Gone to the Rapture and Amnesia, a Machine for Pigs, the Chinese Room. The news was announced at PAX West, and it was also confirmed Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 will be getting a gameplay reveal in January 2024 and a release date in fall 2024. So yeah, this is interesting that they're bringing it back, but it's a different developer than originally planned. So I don't know how that's gonna go.
I don't care who develops it as long as it's fucking good. You know, I hope they take the time to make it like a fucking hefty RPG, because one of the things that made the first Vampire the Masquerade fucking the Bloodlines so good was how ambitious it was.
Yeah.
You know, for the time when it came out, there was so
It
many
was like
different,
Deus Ex level for
yeah,
its
I mean,
time.
there was like different like options narratively and stuff. You know, like it's one of those things that like you didn't see regularly until like Fallout New Vegas came around. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it like the way it branched and like the choices you could make that led to different story options and stuff. It was just very advanced for its time, you know, despite being very like clunky and unfinished when it came out. You know, like you can't even play Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines without like downloading mods that like patch the game to be playable. You know what I mean?
Well, that's also because it's modern computers playing
Yeah.
an old S game. I'm sure it was workable when it first came out.
I don't know. I think it was pretty fucking busted when it first came out. But
Really?
I don't know. You might have to look it up. I never played it until recently.
What
but-
did Venom say?
So Venomverse asked if we knew of any good Android games, but I don't really mobile game at
Yeah.
Oh,
all.
Android games, get on that Marvel Contest of Champions, boy.
What's the there's another Marvel one that everybody's Snap?
Snap.
Yeah,
Nah, that's like a card game. And
you didn't like it?
I mean, I prefer Marvel Contest of Champions. Okay? I'll tell you that right
I do
now.
not. Yeah, I don't mobile.
If you're
game
into like
whatsoever.
strategic like card games, then yeah, it's a lot of fun. But Contest of
But
Champions
is it collectibles? Like, see,
Contest of Champions, you're collecting champions, you know, so there is collecting. It's like a
Okay,
collectathon.
okay.
But it's also like a Mortal Kombat style, like beat 'em up game. And you can play online with people, beat 'em up. You can play like a story mode thing, beat people up there. You're just beating people up. you
love
know?
beating people up.
It's
That's like
great.
one of my favorite
It's a
things.
good game.
But yeah, Brent, you got anything else?
That's it for me.
Well, why play Masquerade the Bloodlines when we got Redfall? So Bethesda Softworks publishing head Pete Hines has reassured players that Arcane isn't giving up on Redfall despite its lukewarm reception on launch earlier
They should
this
just
year.
give up on
They
Redfall.
should absolutely give up.
Lukewarm. That's fucking.
Luke,
That's high praise.
That's generous.
Yeah. So, in fact, he's confident it will be a good game. People will want to play on Game Pass 10 years from now. Speaking.
Wait, in 10 years from now, it will be a good game.
Yeah. So,
We don't got time for that.
No, it says, speaking to GamesIndustry.biz, Hines answered a question about how publisher Bethesda is changing as a result of the response to Redfall by explaining that the publisher has plenty of experience with games not going the way it had hoped.
Reference
Quote,
Fallout.
we are the same company that has had launches that didn't go the way we wanted, and we don't quit or abandon stuff just because it didn't start right, he said. The Elder Scrolls Online's PC launch was not flawless, but we stuck with it. Now it's like this insanely popular multi-platform. It's the same with Fallout 76. Redfall is no different for us. Okay, we didn't get the start we wanted, but it's still a fun game. That's a lie. And we're going to keep working on it. We're going to do 60 frames per second. We're going to get it to be a good game because we know as a first-party studio, Game Pass lives forever. There will be people
Frame rate is not the issue. With that game.
there will be people 10 years from now who are going to join Game Pass, and Redfall will be there. So
In all fairness, like I do respect how much like
They put in the
effort
76
Like
and
yeah,
stuff.
they really have put a lot of elbow grease into making 76 like a better game. They've done a lot for Elder Scrolls Online. Like that's all very true, you
Yeah.
know. And you have to respect them.
I do
as a
trust
company,
it on
like, you know
that
what I
they're
mean?
going to do something, but hopefully they don't think it's just the performance. I hope they're going
I
to
just
fix
don't
the game.
think you can fix it. Like I don't think it's fixable. Like at a fundamental level, like you can't just make a few like cyberpunk changes. Like oh, the cops are coming after you now. Like no, it's
No,
deeper than that.
they need
dude,
to-
You know what I mean? Like
There needs to be more shit in the game. Like there needs to be stuff to do.
you
the
need
whole
to
game-
They need
remake the whole
animations.
map. You need to fucking like redo the characters, the voice acting. You need to just
The voice acting
remake the
wasn't that
whole
bad.
game,
Yeah,
dude.
overhaul the whole game.
Yeah, but like it wasn't the voice acting. It was there was no animations like for the cutscenes. Like it's like
Yeah,
they
no
literally just threw
cutscene.
shit together. There was no points of interest on the map. There's no. They don't have to change the map. Just add points of interest.
At this point, I think it would be more interesting to make Redfall 2 than to fix Redfall 1. You know what I mean? I'm not joking. Like I legitimately think they should just completely pretend Redfall 1 never happened.
Or just never fuck with
re-release.
Redfall again.
yeah, fuck fuck Redfall. Like,
Yeah,
let's
just
just make
move
a
on.
new Dishonored or one of the other good games you guys do. You know,
Yeah.
make Deathloop 2. That'd be tight.
Yeah, Deathloop as a dude. If they did Deathloop as an exclusive on Xbox, like that would piss people off.
You can't do that.
That
You
like
can't like retroactively.
no,
pull-
Deathloop 2.
Oh yeah, no,
like,
that
as
would
if-
absolutely happen.
It would happen, but I'm saying that would be that underhanded like fuck you type move. Honestly, do it. But CD Projekt Red has shared what changes are coming to Cyberpunk 2077's police system alongside the Phantom Liberty update. Detailed in so basically they said we rebuilt the system on clear, simple rules. Criminal activity is punished, runners are chased, and cyber psychos are flatlined. No questions asked. CD Projekt Red said all features in the system are designed to support clarity and the simple but expanded prevention loop. The update will seemingly be a contrast to the current police system. Only committing fairly egregious crimes gets players noticed by police at the moment, with stars slowly building up until the player flees without much issue. So basically, they're going to fix that. But, dude, I don't know how you can go back to Cyberpunk after Starfield is out. Like, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that own it that probably aren't playing Starfield.
You want
so.
Cyberpunk?
I really
Go to
like
Neon
Cyberpunk.
City.
Actually, honestly,
I like it, but like,
I think that Cyberpunk has a lot going for it. Like the quests in Cyberpunk are more detailed. Like not necessarily like they're not like long and fuck, you know.
Yeah.
But they have like really detailed quests in Cyberpunk that are like, you know, like
They're unique.
they're unique, and the way they're animated and shit is like detail. Like that's the only way I can describe it is detailed. Like, you know, there's situations in Cyberpunk that are like really well thought out. Like you pull up in the car to the drug deal and like you see it all going on outside of the car, and just like little things like that are just, I don't know. Cyberpunk got a lot of hate for fucking.
I don't hate the game. I like the game. I just think like it always felt like a little, I don't know what the word is. Like it's beautiful. It's like the best looking game I've ever seen, but it's just like it feels kind of just like generic. Like on like the animations are amazing. Like the aesthetics.
I've heard
cool.
people say the same thing about fucking Starfield, you know, and I just
get
can't
that.
agree like about either game. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know why. Like I think the generic part to me is like the combat. Like I don't know. Like something. It's like the combat doesn't
see,
feel
I
that
like
great.
the combat. I like having your like fucking knife arms and being able
Yeah.
to slow time down and fucking like
The
I thought it
laser
was.
whip.
I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I feel that way about it because I really want. I got it.
But, I mean, you're not
pre-order.
the only one. Like, I'm not like you're not like a weirdo for thinking this.
No.
You know, like IGN gave it a really bad score. Like, it got bad scores down the fucking board. You know, and I feel like I was one of the only people who really enjoyed it like when it came out.
But I don't
know
think
what
that's the other thing. I don't think it's a bad game. Like but I also really enjoyed the beginning of the game, and then as soon as I got into the meat of it, I was bored. Like it's like all the intro stuff was so fucking hype and crazy,
Yeah.
and then like you get to the actual game, and I was just like, well, this is
See, I was really
kinda
into
boring.
the story. The story carried me through a lot of it. You know, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. But anyways, Sony has announced that its PlayStation Portal, the PSP, its streaming handheld will launch November 15th with pre-orders open now. So there
It's
you
like
go.
the worst idea, dude. Why the fuck are they making this? Like,
$200 to stream it. The crazy thing, also, if you're streaming your game, like say you're in your room, how they're trying to market it, like you're just laying in your bed playing it. Nobody can be on your PS5 if you're streaming this.
Yeah, because you're remote playing your fucking PS5.
it's
Like,
so dumb.
It's the same as if it's literally just like if you were to take your phone and enable smart or like remote play and then grab
Yeah.
a fucking PS5 controller and hook it up to your phone. You don't even have to hook it up to your phone. You could just sit there with the
Bluetooth.
fucking shit hooked up to the PlayStation still.
Oh
like,
yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
It's so dumb, dude.
Yeah, this
a
is
very
one of.
pointless piece of technology.
It is a $200 screen.
It's
with
an
a-
extra phone. It's
It-
literally an extra phone.
It's like a tab. It's not
with
even a
that
tablet.
has
like,
no phone capabilities. Like this is probably the first
It's an extra
only
screen.
miss
That's
I've
all
ever
it is,
seen
yeah.
from PlayStation when it comes to handheld stuff. Like this is the only thing where like why not just make a dedicated handheld? Like
Why not just invest that money into some other project? dude?
into
Like,
an actual PSP too? or like something.
Fund fucking some VR games so your PSVR isn't just sitting there fucking like with no fucking games right now. You know what I'm saying? Like we're
That's
sitting
true.
here with like a very slow trickle of VR games compared to like PSVR 1. PSVR 1 had like games every week dropping just like constantly. Like it has one of the best VR ecosystems of all time. And then PSVR 2 can't even play PSVR 1 games, so like if you could play PSVR 1 games on your PSVR 2, it would really solve a lot of the fucking ecosystem problems, but you can't. You're relegated to this like list of like 40 games, and like 30 of them are like fucking bloatware, fucking shitty games, you know what I mean? Fucking, I don't know, man. There's like 5 good VR games for PSVR 2, and like I've played them.
So, a little bit of some more good news from Bethesda. Pete Hines, I guess, did like an interview. All this stuff is from the same interview, but Pete Hines confirmed the Skyrim sequel, Elder Scrolls 6, has completed the pre-production stage and moved into the development phase. Which is, I guess, most people assumed it wasn't like actually being developed yet because of Starfield. But Hines was asked if fans will hear more about the Elder Scrolls 6 once Starfield launches. He said, "quote
Give me 5 years."
He said, "We have put all of our studio's focus on making this game the best it can be." He said, "And yes, there are people working on the Elder Scrolls 6, but this is what the studio was focusing on. So no, you are not going to hear soon about the Elder Scrolls 6. Starfield is our focus for now, and it's going to remain our priority for a while before we talk about anything else."
That's real.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't expect to see Elder Scrolls for a long fucking time, and that's real.
And that's fine because I want them to focus on fucking Starfield.
I want them to put out a Starfield quality game for Elder Scrolls 6.
How do you do that? Like, how do you take something that's going to be focused instead of like going between like different planets and stuff? Like, just make it super, like.
I don't think it's much of a stretch as you
make
think.
all of
Like,
Tamriel.
you think about
That would be cool.
Think about it this way, okay? Skyrim is like not objectively like way smaller than Starfield. Like we can all agree that like
It's going to be smaller.
It's probably going to be smaller, but the thing about Skyrim is that it's incredibly dense. Like fucking you can't do anything without like stumbling onto like a new landmark or a cave system that's like huge that fucking networks to other systems and places and shit.
Or talking dogs.
There's so much shit in the not even small area of Skyrim, you know what I mean? Like it is so densely packed with fucking like landmarks and buildings and fucking caves and like I think you make a game that's double the size of Skyrim and fucking pack it the same amount of shit like densely packed as Skyrim, you'll never
with better graphics.
You will
and
never
all
be
that.
done playing that game. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking you'll never visit all the places in Starfield, and that's okay, you know what I mean? But like you'll never in a game like Elder Scrolls, you'll never have like a big empty fucking planet like Starfield, you know what I mean?
True.
Because it wouldn't make sense, you know what I mean?
Well,
everything in Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be there with a purpose, you know what I mean? Like
That's what I like about Starfield is that it's actually like, even though it's a Bethesda game, it's still different. Like it's not something that you'll get
I
on
love
Fallout.
that. I think it's great.
You're
And
not going to get that in Starfield.
It really gives me Mass
Elder
Effect
Scrolls.
vibes more than anything. Like,
Yeah.
that's the only comparable piece of fucking like modern sci-fi that I can really like put it up against, because like everything else feels.
Mass Effect isn't even modern at this point. Like,
Yeah,
it's
totally.
like this is just like if they rebooted Mass Effect with like a Bethesda engine.
Mass Effect kind of has the same aesthetic. I think, like with the like a realistic like army-based
NASA.
fucking ships and
NASA
stuff.
punk.
Yeah, the NASA punk type
I
thing.
fucking love the NASA punk
Yeah.
aesthetic of Starfield
Same.
so
I like
much.
how Starfield puts a lot of thought into like the actual like realistic aspects of everything. Like,
it's like almost grounded in reality, but like, obviously with grav drives and
Yeah.
everything. But it's like
you try to take off to another system and you haven't put power on your warp drive or whatever. You're just sitting there like, what the fuck's going on? Like, oh, I got to power this shit up, you know?
Yeah.
I love how they kept
little
it
bit
like
semi.
grounded in reality, like
Yeah.
of like, where would we be 300 years from now? Probably
Yeah.
here.
Mhm.
In space.
And why would we all
Yeah.
abandon Earth and go out into space? You know, what would be the reason for us to even consider that? You
Which
know
we
what I
don't
mean?
know yet.
No, we
or at
don't.
least I
Well,
don't.
it depends on. You got to talk to
gotta-
Barrett. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, Sarah told me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It depends on who you talk to.
I think they may have told me, and I just kind of zoned out because I was like, I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know. There's so much dialogue that like sometimes I'll just like,
Be clicking through.
yeah, I'll just be clicking through. Like I rarely do that, but like sometimes if I've been playing for like 4 hours straight, my brain's just like dead. I'm just like, okay.
Some of it's kind of interesting. Like they have like wars that have happened in the past like 300 years that like they'll talk about. They'll be like, "Oh, you don't know about the Spacer War and blah blah
Oh,
blah."
dude,
I'm like,
when you go join the Vanguard, like the first, you have to walk through a museum and like.
"Oh, really?
like-
That's cool."
Yeah, so like you're walking.
Oh,
in-
I'm actually gonna go do
It's
that.
like a legit like museum, and like you can go up and like press the buttons, and like a voice will come on and tell you about like the whole like history of what.
oh,
Like,
that's neat.
Yeah, the UC and the Freestar went at it.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
big war between. That was
dude,
the
it's
most
so
recent-
cool.
Yeah.
Go check that shit out. But anyways, Sony has announced plans to raise the price of all of its PlayStation Plus 12-month subscriptions globally across all tiers.
So actually, when I got charged the other day, that was just God looking out for me. Like, fucking, hey, bro, let's get you signed up before we fucking jack the prices up. You know?
He's like, they're about to charge more.
Dude, bad fucking move, Sony.
Yeah,
Right.
well, I think they saw like Starfield was getting hit like from the reviews. They're like, this is the perfect time. We're gonna drop this shit. So people are mad at Xbox right now. We can drop this shit. Like I feel like there's like this constant like Xbox and PlayStation are just like watching and like they're like, all right, when do we drop the next fucking move? You
That's
know?
absolutely what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, there's no question.
But that was a bad observation on fucking PlayStation.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. Like, the thing is, PlayStation, okay, the reason why it may or may not be a bad thing on PlayStation's part is because it depends on what PlayStation does next. If PlayStation follows this up with some sort of big ass fucking move, like
New games
all
on
of
it.
our first party games are coming, or we've got this dope game coming, you know, like we're gonna drop Baldur's Gate 3 on there tomorrow or something, you know, like if something like that happens, then they can justify
If
it,
they
you know
put
what I
Baldur's Gate 3, absolutely. Especially since they thought they were going to have like a timed exclusive,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
it's coming to Xbox like a week or two later.
That would be
Like-
the best way to counteract this whole fucking Baldur's Gate
Starfield,
disaster. You
Baldur's
know what I mean?
Gate.
Because you're right. I think they thought they had the Baldur's Gate thing in the bag. They might have even paid more or something had they known that, like, you know, it was going to work out for Xbox. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it says the increase is essentially currently it's $59.99 for a PlayStation Plus Essential is currently $59.99. PlayStation Plus Extra is currently $99.99, and PlayStation Plus Premium is currently $119.99.
That's the one. I got the, like, most expensive one.
So the new price is, dude, this is a huge jump actually.
It's a big jump. Yeah.
$79.99 for the PlayStation Plus. So it's going $20 up on each one. $134.99 for the PlayStation Plus Extra, and then $159. No, there's no way. There's even if you put Baldur's Gate 3, that $20 extra a
It's
month.
ridiculous. They have
I
to
mean,
be,
a year.
They have to be planning something big, man. Like, they can't just do that. You know what I mean?
Well, it says,
I don't
quote,
know.
the price adjustment, this is what PlayStation Blog said. Sony issued a brief statement explaining the significant price hike. This price adjustment will enable us to continue bringing high-quality games and value-added benefits to your PlayStation Plus subscription service. So, I don't know what that means.
It means they expected more people to fucking sign up for their fucking premium service, and this is the way they're going to counterbalance the fucking
Probably
losses,
so.
you know?
'Cause
Because
yeah.
if this is probably, they probably just accepted, okay, this X amount of people is the amount of people we're going to have for the service, so we have to jack the price up to get to the, like, profit margin that our fucking investors want us to get to.
That's a
You know what I mean?
fucking huge jump, though. The 20, but
It's
20
massive.
bucks.
I mean, it's a huge jump, which means it probably is severely underperforming compared to what
Definitely.
they thought. You know what I mean? Which makes sense because when they put it out, okay, most people didn't expect to have some sort of Game Pass type alternative. So most people have already purchased all the big fucking games that have come out. You know, like Horizon Forbidden West, fucking God of War, all that shit. Everybody already owns it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
especially because those games came out like way before this happened.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like Now
you bring Spider-Man 2 or something.
Yeah.
Like you that's what you need to do is bring your fucking first.
Your
party
day
games.
ones.
Yeah.
You're like a first party day one type shit. Even if you don't do it to all of them, be like, make a thing where it's like, okay, 3 of the first party titles that come out throughout the year will come day one to PlayStation Plus. Even if not all of them, or maybe 1 or 2. Be like 1 or 2 games a year, first party will automatically come day one. Like, and it'll be decided whenever they come out.
Like they saw how successful Stray was. You'd think that would be like a fucking.
But that's not a first party exclusive. That was just like a timed exclusive.
Yeah,
thing.
but it was day one on fucking.
PlayStation Plus.
PlayStation Plus. I think that's the point.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It probably brought a lot of people over.
But
like,
they know that they make a lot of money by selling their games. So, like, to them, this is just like a little side project. Xbox is trying to make Game Pass their only thing, so it's it's kind of conflicting. It's like you either have to be all in or not. You're not going to make, like, all of your money off of it.
I still think to justify this price jump, you got to come up with something else. You know?
Definitely. Something. Anything. But last thing we got here, the Super Mario Bros. Wonder Nintendo Direct happened this past week. Revealed a ton of new gameplay details for the game, including information on its multiplayer, power-ups, and more. So this is basically all the things that were announced. The game's going to take place in the Flower Kingdom, which is no longer... It's not the Mushroom Kingdom.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's going to be 6 worlds.
Whoa!
6 worlds circle the Petal Isles, giving players 7 areas to explore total, also including Pipe Rock Plateau, Fluff Puff Peaks, Shining Falls, and 3 mystery areas. Players can move around the maps in a more traditional method from one level to another, though open areas also exist where players can take on levels in any order they wish. A more direct courses menu has also been added, letting players quickly return to levels once they've visited them. So playable characters were also revealed, with Nintendo taking a new move in making Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, and 2 Toads all play the same. Luigi will no longer have a higher jump, for example, they're all going to play exactly the same. So, for example, Peach have the ability to float. Yoshi and Nabbit are also playable, but these 2 work differently in that they can't take damage. Yoshi can also flutter jump and eat objects like in previous games. I guess it's for like kids. Yeah, it says these characters will come across talking flowers as they explore each level, being presented with everything from motivating advice, like, quote, onward and upward, to disturbing thoughts, like, I wonder what Goombas taste like.
Disturbing.
Power-ups. Power-ups were the next focus as Nintendo outlined the fan-favorite Elephant Mario and showed off Luigi's, Peach's, and Toad's elephant forms. These chonks can use their trunks to attack enemies, destroy blocks with their raw power, store water in their trunks, and spray it out, and more. The Bubble and Drill power-ups were also revealed, though Nintendo reassured fans that the classic Fire power-up would be a Fire Flower power-up would be making a return too. But basically, they showed off like all these different, things. Other features, badges serve as a perk system of sorts in Super Mario Bros. Wonder. These are upgrades unlockable throughout the game and add some major gameplay changes to each level. Safety bounce stops players from falling into lava. Coin magnet pulls coins towards the player. Jet run adds endless speed, and so on. 4-player local co-op was also revealed for Super Mario Bros. Wonder, though this looks fairly similar to the prior Mario games. Online connectivity was revealed too, including what is essentially ghost mode data that comes with some extra gameplay benefit. Traditional online multiplayer was revealed during the Nintendo Direct. But finally, Nintendo closed the Direct by revealing a limited edition OLED Nintendo Switch based on Super Mario Bros. Wonder, of course. The game was announced as the cherry on top of an already packed June Nintendo Direct. But basically, this is like their last... I honestly think this is the last big game coming to Switch, and they're just kind of trying to get it out and, like, give people something to do before the new Switch is announced.
Yeah, and if they do announce a new Switch right after, it'll probably come to that too.
Of course, it's going to be ported right over. And I
will say this: I really enjoy the side-scrolling Mario games.
Me too.
I kind of have a soft spot for like the new Mario Brothers game.
Oh yeah,
they put out.
Dude, I beat them all. Like every time time they come out, I get it and beat it. Like
Yeah,
last
they're fun.
2 years ago, I think it was. Me and Brittany and my older sister played through the one on Switch, the
that's
new
so
Super
fun.
Mario Bros.
I love
Just like the
that.
nostalgia satisfaction of it.
Yeah, and the multiplayer aspect.
It's really
like
fun.
Like it's a lot of fun to play with friends and stuff.
Yeah, it's not even nostalgic because it's all new shit. Like but it's like
Well, just the
It's
format.
the vibe
Yeah,
of
it's
it,
the
yeah, and the
vibe.
music and stuff, yeah.
yeah, and they're finally getting away from the new Super Mario Bros. Look. So like it'll be great to see. This one looks a lot more like Super Mario
Colorful and
World.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, like versus like the
The
old.
elephant thing kind of reminds me of like the Donkey Kong,
Mm-hmm.
rhinos and shit.
Yeah, I do like the perk thing that they're adding though. Like in this one, like you'll have like perks that you can choose. Like literally, like this one will make in the game like if you fall in lava, you'll get an extra bounce off of it or something like that. Just weird shit like and passive perks and things like.
cool.
But anyways, that's it for the news. This week's hot releases: Starfield.
That's it, baby.
That's it.
Yeah,
Go get it.
that's it. And Baldur's Gate coming to PlayStation. When is that?
I think it's the 6th.
The same day as Starfield, I think.
And, hopefully soon to Xbox as well.
Yeah. But yeah, so get on the 6th and the 5th, enjoy it. You got good shit coming. But that's it for this week's hot releases. Brent, let's wrap it up with some Chat GP trivia.
Yes. Let me log in real quick.
Do some space related trivia. this time.
Space related.
Okay.
Yeah, since we've been talking about Starfield.
might as well.
Yeah, do some space shit.
Okay.
I only know space, dude. That's my whole life. I'm just kidding.
I am the stars.
We are. If Neil deGrasse Tyson was here, he would tell you how we're all just made up of stardust, and that,
Yeah.
like I like how he repeats things like on different podcasts and stuff, like, but he says it with like the same like cadence and like it's like, dude, is this an act? Like, you just like wake up, you just look in the mirror and you practice this, and then like
He's AI, bro.
he has to be. So he'll just be like,
He's an NPC
yeah,
with dialogue, with set dialogue.
he'll like, but everything
I used to
around you right now.
I used to like him, and then he just got
That's so
so
good.
pretentious.
Yeah, he's like,
Everything around you right now. I can't even do it.
And
You
they'll-
do the voice really good.
and they're like trying to like have a conversation with him, but he's like, hold on, let me.
Did you feel that? A little bit of stardust.
Yeah, a little bit of star.
Have y'all
you
seen the
feel
Key
that?
and Peele where it's like Neil deGrasse Tyson talking his way out of stuff like
Oh, yeah, with his wife?
Yeah.
It's
It's
literally
really
that.
funny. Okay, question number 1.
Boom.
What is the largest planet in our solar system?
My immediate answer was not the right answer, but I just wanted to say Uranus. Sorry,
I can't remember if it's Neptune.
Jupiter.
It's not Jupiter, is
No?
it? I think it's Neptune.
I think it's Jupiter.
All right.
Devin's correct. It's
It is Jupiter?
Yeah.
Damn.
It is.
I like
It's
it.
the place
You
where
are
you
the
go
stars.
to get more stupider. That would have been my fucking
Damn.
that would have been my hint. All right.
Mars? No.
Question number 2.
Okay.
Who was the first human to journey into space?
Damn, that's too hard.
It was a Russian. It's not multiple choice, is it?
No, but if you get the first name, I'll
Yuri-
give it. You got it.
Yuri something.
You're good,
Yeah.
bro. Good
Damn.
job.
What's his last name?
Yuri Gagarin?
Gagarin. Yeah, I was gonna say Yuri Gagarin.
Yeah.
Dude, you're the fucking
1961. What a G,
Neil
dude.
deGrasse Tyson of our
Fucking-
What
podcast.
a brave
When it's-
motherfucker, dude. Like,
when
think
it's
about
not
that.
game, when it's not, that's so sad. When it's not game fucking trivia. I've got
I don't think Yuri really had a choice in that matter. They were probably just like, you're
beat-
going to space, and like
I'm betting there were a bunch of Russian cosmonauts that were like all vying for the position.
wasn't
of,
this like during the Soviet Union though? Like I don't think he really had an option.
Yeah, but it was also like the race with the U.S. too, though. It was,
he was kind of forced. Like I don't think he was forced, but I'm sure it like the
I'm
government
betting
was like,
they
you're
weren't-
going one way or the other.
I'm
Dude, have
betting
you-
it was an exciting prospect, and they
Yeah.
weren't like putting a fucking gun to anybody's head. These are like the top scientists in the world.
Dude,
you got to think
they're-
about like you don't just send anybody to fucking space.
I will tell you, there's actual like audio of a guy burning up in space from in Russia, like on the way back in, and he was like, "You killed me. You guys killed me because I told you." Like literally as he's dying, like he's
probably
saying,
talking about how the ship was fucked up or something, and he's like, "I told you, motherfuckers, you should have fixed the airlock, you fucking dickheads."
But apparently they they had like an open casket thing. Like he told him he wanted an open casket before he went up because he knew he was gonna die, and like so they would have to see what they did to him.
Goddamn.
Yeah, there's like this crazy.
Just some ash sprinkled on.
Yeah, it was like it was pretty fucked up. But anyways,
All right. Question number 3. What is the name of the closest galaxy to the Milky Way?
Andromeda.
No, it's Centauri, isn't it? Alpha Centauri.
What is it?
It is Andromeda.
Oh,
You're
it is
correct.
Andromeda.
Jamal.
Alpha Centauri is the closest one with a possible habited planet.
Yeah, that's
okay.
that's the planet. No, that's the one that they're saying is like possibly
habitable. Planet.
habitable, or we're getting some signals off of it, right?
I haven't heard any
Shit.
signals,
You
but
have
I've heard like
signals
there's a planet in Alpha Centauri that's like in the Goldilocks, and then I guess that's why in Starfield, Alpha Centauri has the main new Atlantis city and whatnot.
Yeah.
All right. Last question.
Oh, we get a fourth.
What is the phenomenon where a massive star collapses under its own gravity, resulting in a powerful explosion?
Supernova.
Ah, good job. Good job. All right.
Sorry,
Well, that's
It
it.
results in a black hole, though, right? Isn't that where?
Can sometimes, depending on the mass
And
of the star.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
I like it.
Doesn't always, but yeah, if the star is massive enough, when it does fall in, it'll punch a hole through space-time fabric, creating the black hole.
Isn't that weird? Like,
It's
isn't
something
that
so
that's just a
fucking
thing that
heavy
happens?
It's something that's so heavy it just sags through reality until it becomes a hole, like in literally a fabric.
Yeah, because it makes the whole idea of like space being like fabric, like that everything's sitting on, and just that whole idea. It's just like it breaks through. What's on the other side? Like I want to know what we're breaking into.
Well, if I had to guess, it'd be another dimension because we have black holes, and then we've also observed the reverse of black holes, which is just a hole spewing a bunch of light and particles and stuff.
We haven't observed it yet. That's so white holes, so basically it's just theory at this point that there is some other end of it that like they're saying at some point it's.
No, I think there's been.
I just watched the whole thing on it.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
We're just now getting video evidence
Of
of
black holes,
Like,
yeah.
this is for like black
event
holes have
horizons
been
and
nothing
stuff.
but theory until like 20
yeah.
fucking 18 or something.
Yeah,
Like,
white
it was,
holes
like,
are
recently.
a theory, and it's a very it's not even like super in depth yet. But like, dude, see what I think is it's breaking through to another part of our galaxy or like our dimension, just like some random place in space. It's just spitting everything out that's sucking in from here,
Like a warp drive, basically.
yeah, like
fucking,
that's. I'm thinking if we went through, like you
like
could
a
end up on a
bend
whole
in space
different.
time, like fucking.
Oh no, like a hole, like say like that whole thing that they show on like Interstellar, where they're like, he's like, well, if you fold a piece of paper and you stick a pencil through,
Yeah.
like that's what I'm thinking, but I don't know shit, so I just like to dream.
I think it punched through to like the whatever sidestep dimension.
I'm still
would be
hoping
right
we
there.
find some.
That'd be tight.
I hope we find some black hole shit in Starfield.
Oh
man.
my God.
There's gotta be.
There's
something.
gotta be
Gotta
something.
There's got to be
bro.
aliens too. I don't care like what's going on with the Starborn or whatever. I'm thinking.
I'm thinking
I'm thinking-
travelers.
That's what I was thinking too, because they're like trying to hide the thing. That's gonna suck though. I hope it's not, because then it'll feel like too much like real life. Like I want
Well,
aliens.
Sam Cole had a good theory in the game. Fucking, I was talking to him about the whole thing, and he says like, okay, when Earth settled.
Yeah, I remember that
Like,
part.
He was
Yeah.
like, it might just be some crazy guy who fucking went. He basically described the entire plot of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Or even what's that anime that we watched with the time traveling and the like going back and forth? What's the one?
Steins Gate?
Steins Gate. Like I feel like it's like a whole Steins Gate thing, except for they're from like way.
It's like us from the future.
Yeah, that's
the
what I
hunter
was-
is just us. Just
Yeah. Oh, that would be cool. What if the hunter is actually you?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my
like-
gosh, we're breaking things. Okay, enough spoilery stuff.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, but anyways, Remember, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of GameSpeakPodcast.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast platforms, but you can watch it live before anyone else on twitch.tv/GameSpeak Podcast every Monday evening at 7:50 p.m. CST. Be sure to join us and the rest of the GameSpeak community at dsc.gg/GameSpeak Podcast. Check out our other video content on YouTube, and if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle @JawForJamel, Brent at Brent Has One, that's the number 1, and Devin at Devondrius. And check out the GameSpeak Podcast Instagram. Until next time, listeners,